That's what they're the tour championship. And if the PGA is smart and they lean into like they're doing this new commissioner and they're going to put together a blue ribbon fact-finding commission with Betty Childs and Tiger Woods to get to the bottom of it. They should embrace and do the gold jacket for the tour championship. Just lean into it. Just lean into the whole Shooter McGavin thing. Give you a green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives up? Let's go.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Gold
I did see
jacket,
too that
green jacket, who gives a
the PGA and LIV golf are still pissed at each other, which is kind of hilarious. After all this, like they signed that thing where they were gonna like unify like a year ago, and now they're like refuse to talk to each other.
Well, now Isaac probably knows more about this. There's like a Bryson controversy because
no, nothing of it.
He's they're not letting him play in something called like the Pro Care Cup, which is like a Ryder Cup preparation event because it's still technically a PGA Tour event. And he's like, all of my Ryder Cup teammates are playing, and they're like, yeah, you can't because you're LIV.
Is he the
making
only?
some waves.
So Koepka's not going to be on the team, obviously,
unless he's a captain's pick, but.
So it's only Bryson.
I think it's just Bryson.
I think it's just Bryson.
Look,
the guy who's ever in charge, who's ever the new Greg Norman for LIV. I don't know. I don't remember who it is, but I liked it. Someone brought it up and he said, and I quote, "I can hold my breath as long as anybody," which I thought was just great.
That's great.
Yeah, because they were like,
what does that mean?
Well, because there was the talk of,
like, I'll dig my heels in.
I'll dig my heels in.
And be stubborn longer than you.
Yes. Because like LIV is not doing well and they're just hemorrhaging money. And everyone's like, well, LIV can't keep doing this. And eventually they have to come to a deal. And the PGA's like, dude, we're not budging. And I just love that the guy's like, dude, I've got $1 trillion fund behind me. And he just said, I can hold my breath as long as anyone. It's just two stubborn kids at this point refusing to talk to one another. And I find that hilarious.
I wonder what they want.
There was something about, like, I think LIV wants to exist and the PGA wants to fold it all together.
Yeah.
And LIV is like, no, we just want to be LIV.
Yeah. All right. Well,
LIV, damn it, LIV!
I think they're going to find out how long he can hold his breath.
I don't want your life.
I mean, I do think it's kind of hilarious that supposedly they have an unlimited bank account. And if you have an unlimited bank account, well, in theory, you can hold out forever.
I also think the PGA Tour is fine the way it is.
Yeah.
So and they know that. So they're like, all right.
Yeah, it's just kind of a
bleed out.
It's a de-measuring contest, and both of them think they have the biggest one.
Hey, there's a Yellow Pages in here.
Yeah,
did you see this?
I didn't know the Yellow Pages still existed.
Look at this. I'm going to hold this up for the cameras because we have cameras now because we're on YouTube and such.
And television.
CW and all that.
Yeah.
They still make the Yellow Pages. This is Portland Metro, June 2024, so it's a year old. But, boy, look how small it is.
Yeah.
You know? You can't even sit on that.
Well, I guess that is the old, like, get on a phone book. You would need, like, 17 of those. Who is...
And it does have people's phone numbers
But
in
it doesn't have advertisements?
No, it does. It just changed. Remember how they used to be just all ads?
Yeah. Can I ask, like, who's putting an ad in there?
Now they're just lists. Well, right here we have 3-day blinds.
Okay.
You'll love the treatment.
Oh, I see what they did there. Blind treatments. Can I play the fun game of what does it cost to put an ad into the Yellow Pages?
When I was in ad sales, and this was like 15 years ago, it was shockingly high. Like the businesses that are committed to them, they get sold on the belief that that's still relevant. But it feels like now.
Is it possible that you can reach olds this way?
Probably.
That's a...
Like, why do you still get direct mailers? Like, those go right in the trash, but they have to work on somebody, right?
Yeah, that's true. I get a lot of direct mailers. Do you get those still? Like those?
Just stuff that's like too resident, and it's just like some...
We want to buy your house.
Yeah.
What? I mean, there's a million things.
We're in the area doing roof checks. We'll check yours for free.
Yeah, I do. That one drives me a bit batty.
Yeah, it's like, why? Like, I never read them.
No. Well, and I don't...
What a waste of money.
And then the guy comes to my door, and I appreciate that he's just trying to do his job, but, like, when I tell you that I'm not interested, please just accept the fact that I'm not interested and I'm doing other things. Because I don't want to be rude and, like, slam the door in your face, but you're getting about 11 seconds of me telling you no before I do slam the door. And then, like, do you... this one. I got this one the other day. Well, do you know of any of your friends or neighbors that would be... No, please don't do that. Like, I'm not giving you a name and a number of anyone. So here's the door and goodbye.
Flying Pie Pizzeria has a whole page.
That's quality pie.
Look at that.
I like Flying Pie.
It's got its whole menu in there.
Well, I mean, the olds still dialing up the pizza because they can't figure out how the interwebs work.
Pietro's Pizza. Look
Hey,
at that.
that's old school right there.
Milwaukee.
All right.
All right. I don't know what this...
We used to, when I lived in Gresham when I was a kid,
What is this doing here?
Pietro's was a big nights out. Like that was like, when you got to go to Pietro's, it was like, woo-hoo-hoo, the Sucanic / Brown family, we were living it up out there in the friendly confines.
Good pizza?
It was, well,
Hell yeah, that's good pizza.
yes. I don't want to crap on Pietro's, but they're still around.
We just looked at their ad.
Yeah. So go
Oh,
Pietro's.
look at this. They've got a little podcast recording the basics tutorial in here. I don't know why, but they do.
I enjoy that this first segment has turned into Isaac Ropp now reading the yellow pages, and he actually seems
This is
quite
great.
intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Why don't we put that?
Here's another one that says how to get back into reading.
Why don't we get back into reading later and not read the yellow pages?
What can you recycle?
It's great. Good stuff.
Harmful items, metals, glass, plastics.
Yeah.
This is great.
As a former door-to-door guy, the goal is 5 no's before you leave. Only way to hit your numbers. It sucks.
5 no's?
Yeah, he's saying that they
Jeez.
make you tell. They're going to make you
Push back.
Yeah.
They're going to make you be rude.
That's
What do you think's the
tough.
best way to reach people these days? Like if door to door is out.
Radio? Come on.
Well, right. Besides
Obviously.
There's
the
only
spoken word.
there's only one place, and that's radio. Word
But
of
I
mouth.
just mean like
Word of mouth. Just
yeah,
building a
like
good
go
buzz.
viral.
Yeah, building a good buzz. I mean, like you see it all the time. That who's it? That Keith Lee guy. I don't know if you know him. He was the guy that said that the Alberta market had the best fried chicken.
Yeah, we just
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
it in the news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. If someone like that goes to your place, or you pay that guy to go to your place and say that it's amazing, like overnight, it will blow up. I have my gal and one of my really good buddies are both kind of foodies, and it's all just it's online buzz. Both of them will be like, oh my God, this place is like everyone's talking about it. And you're like, well, who's everyone? And it's just the idea of it's just
Well, the
it's
Instagram,
it's gone viral.
the little Instagram clips of like 15 seconds.
Yep.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Because they showcase what you got going on at your restaurant or bar.
yeah.
Really fast.
Yep.
And my wife forwards those things to me all the time.
We were at
She's like, "Oh, we got to try this place."
yes, happens all the time. And I'll be like, how did you find out about this place? And my gal or my buddy will always be like, yeah, it's
just in their algorithm, right?
yeah. When we were down in LA, there's a place, I don't know, it's like 2 miles from Dodger Stadium. It was like Union Market or Market something. I don't know. I mean, we have them like the indoor food pods, but it was giant. It's this huge warehouse that has now just become this food marketplace.
Like a food hall.
Yeah, like a food hall. But there must have been 50 of these things in there. And then they had some other things in there too. And it was just it was packed. And I guess it's become just this big gathering place. And there was a guy, and I had never heard of him, but there was a guy in there, and he was eating at a chicken place. There was a fried chicken place. And we ended up eating there because of him. We were walking by, we were debating, and he was like, oh my God, you need to try this place. And he wouldn't stop talking about it. And he had his little phone in front of him, right? He was live streaming it. And while we were sitting there ordering, I think maybe 5 people came up, 4 or 5 people that saw him at the market live streaming that place and came to eat there. And they were like, and like I said, I have no idea who he was, but they were coming to see him and then eat that chicken. And I was like, dude, that's kind of crazy. And I'm assuming that guy was a big deal if that many people randomly saw him live. And I'll bet you that damn chicken place, which, by the way, unbelievable bird. The place was phenomenal. I'm sure that guy is going to drive so much business there. And when you walk into a food hall like that and there's 50 or 60 different options, how the hell do you stand out? You get some guy on Instagram or TikTok that says this is the best chicken and you need to eat there. He got me, and I wasn't even watching him. He roped me in just because I was walking by and he was raving about it.
It's kind of like the other day I was talking about Sweat House.
Yeah.
Lake-O.
Yeah. You're doing like the hot or the sauna stuff.
Infrared sauna.
Yeah.
Cold plunge. It's great. And I went in there the other day, and my man Will goes, dude, we had 3 guys come in and say they heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is Will speaking. He was like, I was like, we don't do radio.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you do now.
You do know. It was just one of those.
I was like, were they young hots? He's like, yeah, no, they were
No.
kind of old like you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So radio, you're right. It's radio.
Yeah.
Radio works.
Well,
it's not the influencers. Screw that. By the way, that brings up a story, which we won't have time for here, but we'll see what happens.
Sure.
I was listening to my favorite morning show.
I was listening to this as well.
Did you catch that story about the
That's
chef?
why, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise you, but it's crazy and
Yeah.
disappointing.
So I heard this on the Dirt and Sprague show,
Mhm.
and I have done some digging into this story, and I have found some details here.
Okay.
And the story is that you have a chef in San Francisco who has a restaurant called Kiss Cafe, and there was this influencer. She had 15,000 Instagram followers.
Okay.
Okay,
So that's not a lot.
they call them micro influencers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a fairly small number.
And she was going to come into his restaurant and eat his food and review it or
Sure.
whatever. I don't know what influencers do, but I guess take pictures and look hot. I don't
Yeah.
know. Whatever. Anyway, she does this, but she doesn't know who he is, the chef.
Okay.
She basically just comes in there, eats,
Yeah.
and asks for the bill
Yeah.
for free.
Sure.
Asks them to take care of it.
Yeah. People do that all the time.
And he refused.
Yeah.
And he said he expected her to be like more of a like traditional newspaper reviewer where they get to know you, you set it up, they come in, they know your menu, they know what your influences are, they're like they really understand your restaurant and what you're trying to do, and then they review it. She did none of that. She just basically was like, I'm coming in, and she wanted her meal for free.
Yeah.
And she claims he berated her, which it kind of sounds like he's an ass and did.
Yeah.
He claims that she was rude and threatened to leave the restaurant and was causing a scene. And so it's kind of he said, she said thing. Dude had to quit his job.
Yeah.
He lost his restaurant.
Really.
Yes. She went from 15,000 followers to 500,000
Based on this.
people backing her on it because she posted about it.
Yeah.
People backed her on this. This dude is out of a job.
God. See, that's
Dude lost his livelihood and it made her influencer career.
this is why. Look, I understand that there's a valid point behind these things, and it can certainly be a boon for business. I just there's nothing I have less respect for than the influencer culture, because the people that take it seriously, I get it. Like, so many of them though are, like you said, they're into it simply for a cheap buck, and they want free crap, and they're so entitled, and they feel that they're so powerful. And to that gal, that's the best thing that ever happened to her, was tearing someone's business apart who actually was trying to do something, was actually trying to build something. And he got torn apart simply because of someone wanting to go viral. That leaves such a bad taste in my mouth.
He's like my age, and he didn't really understand social media. He was like, I didn't know what this meant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And she was not respectful of me, and so therefore I was like, no, I'm not paying for your meal, whatever. To him, it made sense.
Yeah.
I think the lesson here is, it doesn't matter how big or small the
Be
group is.
careful.
Be careful going after a group online.
Yeah.
Because
it's the mob
he could have
mentality.
easily just sucked it up,
Yeah.
bought her meal. Maybe that review. I mean, she's 15,000. I mean, that's not that much,
yeah.
because that's what he said. That's what she's claiming. He said to her is like, she claims that when she went into the restaurant, she overheard him talking about how he was disappointed in her number of followers.
Yeah.
So she was already like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
So, maybe just buy the meal, shut up. Maybe the 15,000 followers will, some of them will come in, and you'll be fine.
But does it say something that you, as a influencer, you're demanding your meal to be free?
Yes.
That's the part. Like, you hear these stories about people that like call wedding places or call hotels, and they're like, hey, I want to come stay at your Hawaiian resort, and I don't want to pay. And it seems like it's a scam. Like, a lot of these people have no intention of doing anything other than living a life and not having to pay for anything. And that's the part that just rubs me the wrong way. It's like the old Roger Clemens story, that like Roger Clemens, when he went to a golf course, a really nice golf course, and they were like, cool, we'll get you on. And Roger Clemens is like, hey, can I come out? I know you guys are packed. I'm Roger Clemens. And they're like, yeah, come on out. And they put him on the course. And then when they went to charge him green fees, Roger Clemens freaked out. And the guy was like, well, I got you on. And Clemens is like, well, I don't pay for golf. And the guy's like, okay, well, then don't play golf here. And Roger Clemens, again, turned it into this big fight. And it's like, dude, you're Roger Clemens. You're worth $200 million. And you're pissed off that someone put you on a golf course that you shouldn't have been on in the first place, went out of their way to get you on, and then had the nerve to ask you for $200 green fees that everyone else has to pay, but you refuse to pay because you're Roger Clemens. That's that influencer mentality. It's not that this lady couldn't pay for the meal. It's this lady who's like, well, I'm better than that. I'm better than everyone because I'm an influencer, so I don't have to pay. And that mentality is just, there's a whole generation of kids being raised on this, that this is what they want to do, and yet they don't create anything other than drama.
Even the Kiss Cafe's remaining management put out a statement calling the chef's behavior unacceptable.
Yeah.
He issued a statement saying, Carla, I am truly sorry for my actions towards you. I was condescending, hurtful, and intimidating. You do not deserve to be made to feel less than or unimportant. Nobody does. It takes pride to be a chef. When you don't have pride, maybe you won't take the tone that I did with Carla, but the pride is the part that keeps you going. Everything has broken into pieces. I have to try to pick it up and glue it back together. I have to just let it heal.
Yeah. Can I also say too, is there anyone out there that's willing to have a bad experience and then just let it be a bad experience? Like,
pretty wild.
I take it. I don't know about you. If I have a bad experience out at a place, and I'm not saying that we're giant influence or whatever, but I do know that if we go on here and we open the mic and I say that, Steve's Pizzeria and Fun Emporium is the worst pizza in the world, and the dude's an absolute ass, and don't go there under any circumstances. Like maybe Audi of Bellevue, just a random, hey, if you go there, be prepared. Like I take that seriously, because you can ruin someone's life over a one thing. And so if I go to a place and there's a bad experience, no one just lets anything be a bad experience anymore. No one lets anyone just have a bad day. Like you immediately have to go and you have to get out the pitchforks and the torch and try to cut someone off at the knees to build yourself up, grow your followers, and potentially put someone out of business, as opposed to just saying, it was a bad experience, wasn't for me, I'm not going to go back and just let it go. Nope. Got to go online and like post the revenge tour. And that, I don't know. That can't be a good way to go about society, can it? That's the old eye for an eye, everyone goes blind.
Yeah, so we're pretty much influencers is what I got out of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are kind of influencers, and
thank you.
I do.
Don't mess with us.
Do you take that seriously? Because I do.
Take what? Well, I'm not going to bag on it.
Exactly.
I mean, you try not to.
Yeah. I try not to tear
Unless
down.
I've been wronged.
I try not to tear down business. Even if it's a bad experience, I try to be like, I don't want to, I don't want to nuke a place. Except for Audi of Bellevue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, you just did that.
Those guys can go straight to hell.
So it's just a matter of what happens to you.
If it gets real bad,
then you're
in the crosshairs.
That was
maybe
a whole.
It was, to this girl, maybe it was really
it's
bad.
possible. And if that's the case, then I'm sorry, because
he did issue an apology. Audi of Bellevue has not.
Their parent company asked me if there was anything they could do, and I said yes, you can kiss my ass. That's what you can do.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I know that ended the conversation.
Let's start with a little football. It's about time on The Fan.
The Fan is live on YouTube, Twitch, and now Window Nation brings
Got big football news today.
It's the SEC.
It's about damn time.
Yeah.
These chuckleheads did this.
Yeah, I'm looking right at you, Indiana.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of stunned.
Wait, Indiana.
Well, Indiana is doing the exact opposite of this, and it
Oh.
pisses me off. I hate the Bill Snyder model of scheduling. I think it's cowardly, and in no way it should be rewarded, and yet we reward it.
And Signetti has directly
Yes.
credited the SEC, saying this is the reason I'm changing our schedule because they do it and it works for them.
Yeah. And it's just that's a horse crap thing. He's just doing it because he's a
But
coward.
wait.
He knows his team isn't that good.
But they're now changing.
And now they're not going to do it
No, they're
anymore.
not going to
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
He more
So-
meant they still have to play 9, but he more meant that they would have the schools they play on the front 3 would all be terrible.
Yeah. Which is the Bill Snyder model.
Yes.
Okay, so the SEC has announced today it is going to a 9-game conference schedule. Thank you. About time, you idiots. Now, this is probably because the Big Ten won't sign off on a 5-11 playoff model for the 16-team playoff
Without this.
the SEC playing a 9-game league schedule. So we'll see how the Big Ten responds to this.
Yeah.
But,
So it was approved by the SEC presidents and chancellors.
2026.
Yes.
Not
this year.
next. Well, I guess next year.
Yeah, not this year, but
Yeah,
next
next
year.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because obviously the schedule is set in stone now, and that won't change. But yeah, next year they will add a 9th SEC game.
Do you know what this means?
I don't know.
You don't?
I mean, what do you mean? What does it mean? I guess it can mean lots of things, but I'm not certain what one.
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Yeah, I'm a little confused. It means they're going to 9 games.
No. It means that all the SEC titles
Mm-hmm.
are available to be claimed by other teams since they only played an 8-game conference schedule.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
can
mean?
You can go through and
Yeah.
cherry pick and be like, nope. Under the new rules,
Claiming titles.
and the SEC took it one step further, and they are going to now say that in your non-conference, and I do call this the Indiana rule. I would like to point out that Indiana this year, which I believe is 11th in the preseason poll. Buck, can you do a quick look? See,
Think they're that high, are they?
Indiana and Illinois are both pretty high.
Really?
Yeah, Illinois is like 11 or 12.
They still like Indiana?
Yeah, they like Indiana and they like Illinois. Do a little. I want some clarity on this.
Who are you looking for? I was getting your audio.
Oh, Indiana.
Indiana. They are in the they're 20th in the AP.
Okay, not as high as I thought. Illinois is 12th. So Indiana, who is 20th, they are scheduling to start their season Old Dominion,
Mm-hmm.
Kennesaw State, and unless Larry Bird is playing quarterback, I'm guessing Indiana State not offering much resistance.
They have a football team there?
Apparently they do.
I didn't know they had football.
That is such a cowardly horse crap way of doing things, and that's what. I mean, he basically said this is what we're going to do.
Someone joked if you're going to play the Indiana State Sycamores, you might as well play Bishop Sycamore.
Ooh.
Well played.
That'd be fun.
I like that.
Well,
So the SEC, on top of going to 9 conference games, they are also going to require every team in their conference to schedule at least one high-quality non-conference opponent, and that means you have to play someone from the ACC, the Big Ten, or the Big 12. Notre Dame would be included in that. So
That's good.
One of the other Power Four, so you have to play one of the teams. Now, you could obviously schedule Purdue, or you could schedule, I don't know, whatever other horse crap team you want.
Indiana.
Indiana. But the SEC, you will now have.
Actually, no, you can't. They won't play.
They won't play it. So you have to schedule nine conference games and one quality game. And by the way, most of the good teams, for all the crap that the SEC gets, and granted, totally get the 8 conference games is horse crap. But the Alabamas and the Texases of the world and the LSUs, dude, they play someone every year. Texas plays Ohio State at Ohio State. Alabama has played someone good every single year. Georgia opened with Oregon a couple years ago. Most of those big boys do go and play someone at the beginning of the season almost every year. It's just that, yes, the 8 conference games is crap. And now that we've solved that, and they're going to at least one quality Power 4 game in your non-con, you really can't say anything about the SEC anymore. You can't. And for anyone that wants to say that the SEC is overrated, and I hate that I'm having to defend the SEC, they have their fair share of bottom feeder teams. But I would like to point out, remember Florida's schedule last year?
Yeah.
The killer?
It was rough.
So Oklahoma, Brent Venables is coaching for his life. Brent Venables is the new Billy Napier. Brent Venables may be coaching for his life. He has been there 3 years, and twice they've won 6 games. So they start off with Illinois State, and then they get Michigan, Temple, Auburn, Kent State, right? All right, you got 2 teams in there. One of them is ranked Michigan. Auburn may be halfway decent. And then they go on this run. Now imagine Oregon, who we all think is a top, 5, 6, 7-ish team. What would you say if this was Oregon's schedule? Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU.
Ooh.
That's how Oklahoma finishes their season.
Well, it's a tough league.
So eventually
We knew that, though.
What?
We knew that, though.
Yeah, eventually people need to kind of get over the butthurt feelings and stop being angry at the SEC and realize that
You need to get the cob out of your ass.
yes, that for all of the SEC's boister and just kind of all that crap that they spew out there, it really
Well,
is the toughest place to play in the country.
I think everyone knows that. I mean,
We just don't like to
we
give
just-
it. We just don't want to give them more ammo.
well, I just don't think we like to hear him brag about it.
Yeah.
We just want him to shut up.
But
But
you know-
everybody, there's not one person
No.
that doesn't know exactly what you just said about I mean, the SEC is the best league, and it's pretty much every year.
If Oregon had to play that schedule, if that came out, can you
They ain't
imagine?
going to the playoff?
Duck fan would be livid. They would be like, "This is ridiculous." I mean,
You know what, though?
Michigan fan, this is unfair. Look at what they've done to us.
Well, the Big Ten, Oregon being in the Big Ten for the first year last year.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
that league is kind of blah. It is. I thought it was going to be so much tougher, and it's just not.
No, it's not.
But you know,
Play intramurals, brother.
that stuff changes.
Yeah, I'm saying
Year to year.
Oregon's big stretch is Penn State, Indiana, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, USC, Washington.
But Oregon schedules good teams.
Yeah,
you know,
they do.
outside of
Yes.
the conference, which
They historically have.
yeah,
Not
and,
this year, but
but the thing I'd like to point out,
But in the
about-
last decade and a half, they've taken on
Yes.
LSU, Tennessee, Georgia.
traditionally they do a nice job.
but the thing I'd like to point out, like back to the Indiana thing, is Oregon. They schedule good teams, and it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we're having segments on here going, "Oh my God, Oregon schedule's too hard. You know, maybe they should pull in Indiana." It's not a thing.
No.
It creates moments like wins over Ohio State. They were still the number 1 team in the country. You know, and this doesn't apply to everyone. Indiana's at a different level than Oregon. But put it this way, if they didn't play anyone and they scheduled like Kansas State and Indiana, it would be a thing.
Yeah.
It would be a topic that followed them around.
Yeah.
So it's just not, I guess Indiana, you can play your cards that way and it's not going to hurt you if you run the table or have one loss or you're in the Big Ten championship. You got a shot at that tournament, and that's
Yep.
really all they care about.
Yep.
So if you want to play your cards that way, that's cool. But the rest of college football is figuring out that the sport needs big matchups,
Yep.
and they don't hurt you as much as teams think, or anyone thinks that they do.
I would love to see, like, if Indiana goes 11-1 and that one loss is to Oregon, I would love to see someone just take Indiana and be like, yeah, no.
Well, they had one loss last year, right?
Yeah, and they got in.
And who
And they
did
were
they lose
exposed.
to? Oh, Ohio State.
Ohio State.
And they got into the turn. See, that to his point,
It
I
works.
mean, it works.
It works. That's
I
why
know.
they do it.
And
Yeah.
it just I hate it. I hate that we reward
But you know what,
cowardice.
though?
And I understand that sometimes that's the way the schedule breaks. Like this year for Oregon, it's not a great schedule, and that's fine. But most years, but when you actively set out to do it, when you say it's what you're doing, I just hate that we reward teams for it.
Well, and Indiana bailed on like Virginia Tech,
Yes.
which isn't like playing a
Exactly.
Georgia.
I'm not asking you to play Ohio State. I get it. You're trying to build your program, but exactly. If you're bailing on Virginia Tech, and the one game, Indiana played 2 teams last year. They played Ohio State and lost 38-15, and they played Notre Dame and got smushed. Like they were a fraud, and that they were there and it worked. And I don't like gaming the system. It just
The other thing about
it'll never sit
Indiana
right with me.
is that if you have a little forethought, if you want to grow that program,
Yeah.
you're going to have to get big wins
Yeah.
over good teams.
Yeah.
Like if you think about, or again, go back to Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon's in a different place than Indiana, but if you think about how they have grown, what has helped them grow, and how have they piggybacked off of that success? It's huge wins, like going to Ohio State and winning, beating Ohio State at Autzen.
Beating Florida State in a Rose Bowl.
Yes, like big.
They've scheduled.
Well, but I
Tennessee,
just mean
they've
like
scheduled
just on there,
Michigan.
on your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went and won at Michigan. You remember that game was a big.
They went to Tennessee, and Tennessee was down, but they still put it on
Stomped
there.
them.
Really, the only way you can take your program to the next level is big wins, because Indiana can win 10 games against crappy opponents every year, and no one will care.
Yeah.
When they'll start to care is when you start winning bigger games, and you have to schedule those games in order to get them.
Yep.
So he's short-sighted, big time. And I'm with you. I'm rooting against him.
I'm rooting against teams that actively do that.
That's
so
pretty weak.
I don't like it, and I love that the SEC, which already schedules the one non-power game, I think that's been in place, if I'm not mistaken. That may have been in place for the last 2 seasons, but now with the 9 conference games,
So that's going away, right?
No, I think that's still there.
The non.
Yeah, the SEC, I believe, I'll have to double check on this. I believe the SEC the last year or two did make the requirement that you have to play one Power 4 non-con, and now that you have the 9-game schedule, it's like that is a fair and balanced schedule across the board. The SEC did the right thing.
But they're not playing that late
that's
season
gone.
non-conference game
That's
anymore.
gone.
That's the one that's
the
gone.
one that's
and that
gone.
will be replaced by a conference game, which in the SEC is going to be a tough game, generally speaking. That's why the SEC, they should have done this a long time
I
ago.
want to see, by the way, if the SEC, I want to see if towards like if they have some creative scheduling. If all of a sudden Georgia every year at the end gets,
Well, there's so many teams now.
I know.
You can't. That's the other thing.
Some
about
of them are
this.
going to be really tough games, and some of them are going to be layups, and certain teams are going to be pissed, and they're going to.
Well, it used to be that if you played in the SEC and you played, I mean, how many teams it used to be 12, right?
Yeah.
It was never 10, I don't think. I think it was 12.
No, I think it was 12 or 14 because you had to have enough to have the 2 divisions. Now there's, I think, 18?
Was it ever 10?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think you have to have.
So
I think you have to have more than that to have the split.
So you'd have. Well, they don't have a split though.
Yeah,
but
well,
they used to.
They used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would only miss a couple teams a year.
Yeah.
So you were guaranteed to play a pretty nasty schedule. I mean, the chances of you missing Alabama, Georgia, and whatever in today's terms, Texas in the same year is slim.
Yeah.
But now, how many teams do they have?
I think 18.
18.
I believe.
You could get lucky and only play one of the best 3 teams.
Yeah.
Or 2 of the best 6 teams or whatever it is. And that can help you immensely in the SEC.
Sorry, 16. So they have 16.
Oh, they only have 16.
They have 16.
Okay, yeah. But still, I mean, you could miss. You just get lucky with the schedule. And I think that kind of sucks in college football too, that they have this now with all these teams and all these leagues. Because like the Big Ten schedule last year for Oregon was, it was pretty easy.
Yeah. Wasn't it weird too that when it comes to this now we have to ask like how many teams? Like even if,
Oh my God.
you're like
How many does the Big 12 have? Go.
I think they have 14.
I think it's 16.
How many does the ACC have? Go.
I'm too busy looking up the Big 12.
That
yeah,
might
there's
be
16.
14.
There's 16 in the Big 12.
There's 16 in the Big 12?
There's 16 in the Big 12.
A couple years ago, there were 10.
And it was dying.
Make that make sense.
There's 18 in the ACC.
Okay, 18 ACC, 16 Big 12, 16 SEC, 18 Big 10.
I think, yes.
Okay.
I think
So they either have 16 or 18.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. How many in the Pac-2?
It's the Pac-2.
What?
Division 1 football.
All right, let's take a break. We have an announcement coming up at 4.
Ooh, I like announcements.
Good little announcement. But anyone peep the little club just 2 back of the Mariners in the wild card race?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone?
No, I see where you're going.
Anyone?
It's not
Saw
well,
Bobby hauling ass today.
Yeah. We'll get to a couple baseball notes next. Here's Buck.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by CarSolve. Start a dealership bidding war and get the most money possible for your vehicle at carsolve.com. First on the Fan. Out in Green Bay, fights between the Seahawks and Packers in their joint practice today. The media counting roughly a dozen skirmishes. Packers right tackle Zach Tom was kicked out of practice after throwing punches at Seahawks linebacker Ernest Jones and defensive back Devin Witherspoon. After practice, Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald said that quarterback Jalen Milroe will play from start to finish in the Hawks' final exhibition Saturday as Sam Darnold and Drew Lock sit. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, head coach Kevin Stefanski said the starters will play in the Browns' preseason finale against the Rams on Saturday. Joe Flacco will start, will be followed by Dylan Gabriel, then Shedeur Sanders coming in third. Kenny Pickett remains sidelined with his hamstring injury. And round one of the PGA Championship is in the books out at Eastlake. Russell Henley, your leader, after firing a 9-under 61, cashing for the Fan Sports Desk. Henley has a 2-shot lead on Scotty Scheffler, who is alone in second at 7 under. A crowded leaderboard in third place as Colin Morikawa, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantlay, and Justin Thomas are all 3 shots back at 6 under. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley with the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks Game Day. Before and after every Ducks 1080 AM.
All right, now to baseball. Real quick. Well, you're lamenting your
Yeah,
Mets.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Why not? You want to talk about a real team?
Busy being bitter.
The Royals?
How about Mikey Yaz?
Hey,
Mikey, yes.
I'll tell you right now, one of our teams is streaking, and one of our teams is falling like an effing lead balloon.
Oh, that would be my team as well, who has the worst record in baseball since they traded for Rafi Devers.
Yeah, by the way, that didn't turn out. But no one expected your team to be good anyways.
But not doing this anyways.
Well, the Royals are only 2 back of the Mariners. Are
Yeah.
you guys scared yet, you Mariner fans?
Well, look, I do
You
enjoy. I
shouldn't
think
be.
the Mariners what 5 of 7 on this road trip.
They've dropped 5 straight
5 in
since
a
the
row.
CJ Stroud hat.
Yeah. Yeah. The Mariners were feeling themselves.
Stroud jinxed them.
Oh my God. I just.
So they're 2 back. The Royals are 2 back of the Mariners
I just
in the
another
wild card
three-run
race. And the Reds are 1 back of the Mets in the NL wild card
Who,
race.
by the way, just gave up a 3-run homer and are now down. By the way, I'd like to point out they were up 3-0 in this game, and is now the bottom of the 8th, and it is 9-3.
Sucker.
Yeah. Anywho, I hate this team.
So
And-
who is more likely to catch their to get in and overtake the Royals over the Mariners or the Reds over the Mets?
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That is good.
That's good.
Damn it! I might say Kansas City because I just don't have. I
That's
just
really close.
Who do you have least
the
faith
Red
in?
Sox are scuffling along right now.
Yeah.
The Mariners seem to have major problems, and by the way, these things can turn around very quickly.
Oh yeah, we're not
But-
even to September.
But when you look at the Padres aren't going anywhere. The Cubs are solid. So the only people that the Reds have to jump are the Mets, who just are absolutely imploding. So I kind of want to say that, but I think Kansas City right now, I mean, they've won like 8 of 10. Kansas City seems to have figured something out.
Kansas City's probably a better team than the Reds.
Yeah.
by a small margin.
But I think it's going to be easier for Cincinnati to jump over the plummeting.
But I feel like the
Mets.
Mariners are a better team than the Mets, though. Am I wrong about that? Like, who's better, the Mets or the Mariners?
I think right now there's not many teams that are worse than the Mets. I mean, we are.
Well, one team that's worse than the Mets right now is the Mariners. They've lost 5 in a row.
Well, the saving grace though is that the Astros have decided to suck too.
Well,
Have you seen that whole division lately? Like
Yes.
the last 10 games?
Bad.
I
No
still
one's good.
Don't understand how the Astros are this good. It makes no sense to me. They have no good players
Well, and they're playing.
besides Altuve.
They're not playing well. They've lost 4 in a row. The Rangers are scuffing along. That no one wants to win that division. Nobody.
Well,
I just think it's fun that there is going to be some serious butt clenching in the AL and the NL wild card.
yeah, these races are good.
And by the way, and the Guardians are only 3 back. It's just that in the National League, it feels like it's a battle right now between the Mets and the Reds, and that's it. And it's going to come down to the.
Well, don't forget, too, you have a great NL West division race.
Yes,
Dodgers and Padres.
Dodgers Pods. And I think they've got 3 because they've just played 3 at Dodger Stadium, and they got 3 coming up. I think, is it starting today? I think it's this weekend in San Diego.
And
Let's
both those
get it.
teams seem like Jekyll and Hyde. Like they turn it on and then they go through these swoons, and I don't know. That's going to be a fun race.
All right, we've got a good little announcement coming up at 4. But up next, we have Dallas Cowboy audio for you.
Well, we were talking about that new Cowboy documentary, the Jerry Jones one.
Yeah, it's called America's Team.
And this came across my feed today. Someone else who knows something about the Cowboys is also watching that, and they had a slightly different opinion than you did.
Okay, well, we'll get to that next on The Fan.
Dirt and spray. Dirt and spray.
M's lost again. We have a real uncomfortable elephant in the room here where
All right. I just saw, before we get to Jeff Pearlman, I saw that. Did you see that Dallas Baptist is joining the Pac-12 in baseball?
I thought someone, the orange guy,
Orange O guy
he
texted
texted
us.
that, and I thought he was joking.
No, it sounds like that's real.
I was like, what?
Dallas Baptist.
It is real. They've
Can
got
I-
a good little ball program.
I had no idea. But baseball's weird in that you do get those like small schools, like I don't know, like Colorado School of Mines. All of a sudden is like we play wicked good baseball.
I think they made it to Omaha either this year or the last year.
Did they really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pac-12 powerhouse in baseball, Dallas
Baptist.
Yeah.
Okay.
DBU.
All right. So America's team, The Gambler and his Dallas Cowboys, is
Yeah.
airing on Netflix. Actually, it's not airing. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
All 10 episodes. I think I'm on episode 3, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good look at the old school Cowboys, which kind of scratches me right where I itch because
Yeah,
that
it was a big
kinda,
deal. Yeah.
Well, that was kind of my heyday, and
Yeah.
I say that was my heyday. That was just what I grew up with, and I've got a lot of family. My mom's from Fort Worth, and so we'd go down to Dallas, Fort Worth, the Metroplex every Christmas, and just got swept up into Cowboys fever. So I was in all that, and it's kind of interesting. I just think they're doing a pretty good job with it, telling the story. Now, Jeff Pearlman is a guy who wrote the definitive Dallas Cowboys book.
Yes, and he covered the Cowboys for years, and I think it was the Boys Will Be Boys or whatever. It's really good. I mean, it's an unflinching look about those Super Bowl Cowboy teams, and it's one of the better sports books I've ever read. And this happened to come across my timeline, and it jumped out at me because you had just got done talking about how you thought they were doing a nice job, and I had kind of said I just can't really get on board because I feel like it is just it's made by Jerry Jones, and I have zero faith that this will in any way be anything other than a love letter to Jerry Jones. And so I just hadn't gotten it, to the point where some people were saying that he was doing the Micah Parsons thing just to drum up like attention to help promote this, which is the most Jerry Jones thing ever. So when Jeff Pearlman said this, because he started watching it, it caught my attention.
I actually do. There are a couple of things. Number one, so I'm watching the Netflix documentary on the Dallas Cowboys, and I actually feel like throwing up. I actually do. There are a couple of things. Number one, I know they used my book. It's clear that Skydance used my book, and nothing. Which, okay, fine, whatever. More importantly, Jerry Jones taking credit for the Herschel Walker trade is ridiculous. It was not a we, it was Jimmy. It was 100% Jimmy. It was 0% Jerry. Jerry didn't even know what the hell was going on. It was the Jimmy Johnson trade. The organization of the trade was Jimmy. The value for the picks for the players they acquired was Jimmy. And so far, this whole documentary is just a hand to Jerry Jones. Actually, it's infuriating. Cowboys haven't been good in 30 years. 30 years. What are we doing here? Anyway, I already don't like it. I'm trying to like it, but I don't like it. Any thoughts?
I loved that.
That is great.
Because I haven't seen it, but that was my thought. So when Pearlman
He's
said
not
that,
wrong.
it just...
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
But I guess I should say, for those that haven't started it, it is not about the Cowboys over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
He's right about that, but it doesn't, at least so far, they're deep diving into the old Cowboys of the 80s and some of the 70s and old Jerry. So that part of it is, I don't know. I just think that part of it is the part that caught me because, like I said, I grew up during that time, and they were very, very relevant, sort of how they became America's team. Yeah. But yes, you don't watch it with any sort of delusions that it's nothing but the Cowboys' view on everything. Yeah. But it's still it's still really well done. Charles Haley is in it, and he's
terrifying.
Unbelievable.
He's an animal.
Dude, the stories. Have you watched? You said you did watch it.
I have not watched this, but having done a lot of 49ers coverage, I've seen and heard a lot of Charles Haley's stories.
Yeah,
the guy's nuts.
It's not just Jerry, it's the players. Aikman's in it and Jimmy's in it. They're all there. But make no mistake, it is certainly the Cowboys' view. I guess my thing, and I think this is where we differ, is I have room for a one-sided view of a story. That it's still interesting to me because it is the Cowboys. He is the owner, and this is his take on it. Now, I can't sit there and go, well, that's got to be true and that's got to be true. I can't do that. But at least just hearing because Jerry's quite the entertainer and he's a hell of a storyteller.
Yes.
So when you listen to him and you listen to some of these stories, Charles Haley and the old Niners and all that, it's really, I think, really entertaining.
Sure.
But to take it as, this is actually how it all went down, I can totally see why the guy who wrote the book about how it all went down is looking at this going, wait a minute.
Yeah, because it's widely accepted, and Perlman talks about it in his book. And if you haven't read it, the first line in the if I'm remembering correctly, I believe the first line in the Boys Will Be Boys, it's a Cowboys. I want to say it's like a Cowboys receiver or cornerback, and it's something along the lines of, you can look it up, but it's like it's a quote, and it says, "There's a lot of things you can do in life. Stabbing someone in the neck with a pair of scissors isn't one of them." That's the opening line of the book, and that's where Michael Irvin stabbed the old lineman in the neck with a pair of scissors and damn near killed him. And it just talks about what an unflinching S show that was. But the one thing that he says is that was Jimmy Johnson, and this is the part that rubs me. The Dallas Cowboys were one of the greatest dynasties of all time because of Jimmy Johnson. Now, if you want to give Jerry Jones credit for bringing in Jimmy Johnson, sure, and giving Jimmy the authority to do it. But Jerry Jones had Jack S to do. And he's right. Since Jimmy left, well, Barry Switzer, but since Jimmy left and those guys are gone, Jerry Jones has been one of the worst owners and one of the worst organizations. And yet we still give him love. And I guess that's where we are today.
Yeah.
I don't have room in my life for a one-sided handy, as Jeff Perlman said, towards Jerry Jones.
But the thing about him is, I don't think he gets love. Everyone thinks Jerry Jones is a joke. Yeah. Like, there's nobody that says the Cowboys are good. Yeah. Well, but actually, there are.
But they're interesting, I guess.
They're very interesting, and that's because of Jerry. Like, Jerry,
smiles and glory.
You learn in the first 20 minutes of this documentary. Everything that you think about Jerry is confirmed. He just comes out and says it. Huh. He does not care. Like, he won early Super Bowls. I would be stunned if he really gives a rip about winning a Super Bowl.
I don't even want our listeners to listen to me.
I would be stunned if he cared about winning a Super Bowl right now. He does not care.
Yeah. Smiles
his whole
and glory holes
thing, even back to college, was how to make football more entertaining. Yeah. That's all he cared about.
That I will give him.
And that's what he's done. Yeah. And now he's putting out a documentary, and it's pretty freaking good. Right. It's pretty juicy.
You know what? If I'm sitting around half drunk on a Saturday, you may get me for an episode, and I'll give it a whirl.
The behind the scenes stories of things like where he went, he was gonna fire Tom Landry. Yeah. And of course that there was sacrilege. Yeah. And he's an outsider, and they already hate him. He brings Jimmy Johnson. He knew who he was going to go hire. He was going to bring Jimmy in, and he brings Jimmy in, and he takes him to this Mexican restaurant. And Jimmy's like, dude, can we meet like in a hotel room or something? I can't go out in public. This is not a good scene. Yeah. It's not a good look. And Jerry's like, oh, no, it's off the beaten path. Don't you worry. Cowboys. And
I love your Jerry Jones impression, by the way. It's right up. It's right up there with the Greg Sankey.
And
I love it.
They go there. And the next morning, the picture of them sitting in the Mexican restaurant is on the cover of the newspaper. And Jerry, and he's just laughing. He just goes, yeah, well, it turns out that was Tom Landry's favorite Mexican restaurant. Cowboys. So just stuff like that I'm sorry, that's entertaining. Like, and even Jerry, he knew he screwed that up, but he told that story. He is a wildly entertaining dude. I don't know if he is anymore. He's just old. But in this documentary, it's, I don't know. I hate the Cowboys. I'm not a closet Cowboys fan. Yeah. I grew up a Cowboys fan, but then when they hired Barry Switzer, I was out. We hated him. Yeah. So,
and yes, I looked it up. This is how Jeff Perlman's book starts. You can do a lot of things in life. You can't stab a teammate with a pair of scissors. Kevin Smith, Cowboys cornerback. I love that. That's how he starts it. And if you're ever looking for a good read, came out in like maybe 2010 or something. Give Perlman's book. Perlman's, to me, is one of the best writers.
Great.
He's great.
He's got a good personality, too. Someone said, if anything Jerry is saying is true, it's not. This has to be the biggest drop ever over the past 30 years. Yeah. And, well, yes, but again, this is why the other side of the story is relevant. You sit him down and tell him that's the biggest drop in 30 years when he just built a what?
It's the most expensive franchise in the world.
His franchise is worth $20 billion.
Yeah.
Tell him that he's failing.
That's you know what? It's interesting that you say that.
Eddie Money?
No, Eddie Murphy. I saw a thing with Eddie Murphy once, and someone was talking about, Eddie Murphy is a little sensitive about his, the infamous
the crappy movies.
Yeah, the crappy movies. Remember, he refused to go on SNL because David Spade made a joke about a falling star. And I saw an interview with Eddie Murphy once, and Eddie Murphy goes, "You want to take shots at me?" He went through the amount of money that his movies have made, all the the ones that people say aren't very good, the kids movies or whatever, and he brought up his and he goes, "You tell me that I've done anything but been a smash success."
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of that. You can say that he's a boob or whatever, but you're right. He has the most expensive sports team in the world. Hard to call that a failure.
And he's got everybody talking about him all the time.
It's a valid point.
It's just that, and if you listen to him, that's really all he set out to do.
Point.
All right, coming up next, we have a good little show announcement. And so stay around, or stay here, or be around. Stick around.
On Fan now.
On
Good
the sports.
I'm sorry.
Rock chalk. There's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, what are you doing in here, little kitty cat?
Isaac Robb,
Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. We need more dogs.
Jason Sukanik.
Try to let it out the front door. Meow, meow. Cat's still going crazy in there.
This is Primetime on the Fan Sports Network.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here meow, looking in the mirror. Be a dog.
1051 and 1080.
We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Second hour getting underway. A little late. I can guarantee you this, JC Babes.
Talk to me.
Next week at this time, we will not be late.
No.
Because our little show announcement that we wanted to tell you about, I found out today, only today,
The return.
that the great beginning next week, and continuing at 4 p.m. every Thursday through the football season,
Not Troy Aikman?
Dan Lanning will be joining our show. If you don't know, he's the coach at Oregon.
I was really hoping for Jamie Burke or a non-Troy Aikman interview, so, I'll take it.
How about that?
I'll take it. Good little announcement.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
We haven't pissed him off enough yet.
Give it time.
You can sleep when you die.
Give it time.
Well, that's where the enough and the yet comes in.
That's true.
What an opportunity.
Indeed.
So every 4 o'clock segment on Thursdays,
Yes.
we'll have Lanning on.
And that will be the only time where we'll be on time. We'll make sure.
Yeah, because he's punctual.
He is very punctual.
We learned that early.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess around.
Yeah, we can't really can't go out willy-nilly at like 4 or 9 and have him on hold.
I don't mind talking to y'all.
It's not going to go well.
So it's brought to you by Philbrook Law.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get the sponsor in there.
Wrap our arms around it.
Yeah, and there's actually a good little read. I got to give Joe Fisher credit.
Oh, the great Joe Fisher?
Yeah, he's the one that sold the deal for Philbrook Law.
Yeah.
And one of the reads is, other lawyers fight for clicks. Philbrook Law fights for wins.
How about that?
They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins.
I actually know Matt Philbrook. Hell of a golfer. You'd like him.
Yeah?
Yeah, long hitter off the tee.
Yeah?
Old
bombs
Matt.
it.
He bombs it.
He bombs it.
Yeah.
Football's football, and the only way to get better at it is to play football.
He's a Royal Oaks guy. I see him out there with my buddies sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a good dude.
So that'll start next week. All right, let's get on track here. Will you focus?
I'm trying.
What's the matter with you?
What an
Well,
idiot.
the
Time to
Mets
break.
freaking lost 9-3 to the junior Washington Nationals.
So if the Reds, I don't know if the Reds are playing tonight. If they are,
yeah, I think they are playing.
they can tie
They would tie.
the Mets for the last wild card.
Yes. I will have you know that I have
Ooh-wee.
approximately zero faith, and I mean
Ooh-wee.
zero, that the Mets are going to make the postseason at this point. And no, I lied. It does not look like
They're not playing.
the Cincinnati Reds are playing.
So I'm looking to see. Yeah, they play the Reds. They play in Cincinnati in a couple weeks. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster.
How about that?
Not looking forward to it.
All right.
Spent all that money on a bullpen at the trade deadline, and our bullpen stinks.
Up next, Andy Reid was almost assassinated, and Sex Toy Bro has been arrested. You said it wouldn't happen. It has happened. Next on The Fan.
New owner. FM and 1080 AM.
All right, tying up some loose ends here. I see where the Packers and Seahawks got in a bunch of fights today.
Oh, yeah.
At practice. It appears to be that time of camp.
Yeah, especially when you have these joint practices. Like, you've been hitting your own guys for so long. You get in there. Everyone's supposed to take care of each other, but tempers flare. You know that you can get kicked out of practice and there's no big deal. It's almost impossible to have joint practices or any practice for that matter at this point in camp, even against each other, and not have it turn into fights.
Everyone's all frustrated.
Yeah. And you don't
trying
really,
to get kicked out.
Yeah, there's guys that don't really care. Like, they know they're going to get kicked out and they're going to get yelled at, but they don't really want to be there anyway. So, like, if you're a dip-ass like me trying to make the team, you can't get kicked out. But if you're on the team, oh no, you get kicked out of practice. This was always a bowl game thing for us. We would actively try to get kicked out. I would have actually, like, when I was young, I would have veteran players come up and be like, hey, just so you know, we're going to kick the hell out of you in inside run, and we're going to get thrown out of practice because we don't want to be here. We're like, oh, cool. That's awesome. Thanks. So appreciate it. Thanks, Rob.
Well, Zach Tom, the right tackle for the Packers, was kicked out.
Yeah.
And he was exchanging punches with Seahawks linebacker Ernest Jones and Devon Weatherspoon. Yeah. Jordan Love described as one of the bigger fights he has seen in his career. He was not participating.
Well, I will tell you that Zach Tom, who is the starting right tackle, will not be benched over this fight.
Nah.
Nor will one of the best corners in the NFL. So, we love to sensationalize these things, but very rarely does anyone get hurt. Most of the time, people have their helmets on. It's a lot of grabbing. Occasionally, someone take one in the gut. Doesn't feel good. You get your hand stepped on, but fights happen. And you know that the reason why they don't happen in games is because there's real consequences. They happen in practice because what are you gonna do?
So, those joint practices, are those really worth it? Is that better than?
Yeah, they're better than games, and like.
Oh, they're better than games.
Yeah, they're better than games. Imagine, like, if you're trying to get better at golf, would you rather go out and play around somewhere? And how many swings are you taking out on a golf course, right? I mean,
well, hopefully 62.
Yeah, let's say more like
how about that?
75. How many are you taking at a range day?
It depends.
Couple hundred?
No, I wouldn't. I don't like hitting that long.
Okay,
I get bored.
Well,
maybe 100.
If you're actually trying to grind and get better,
yeah,
and then you can set up what you want. So we can get in a game, you may only get a handful of red zone snaps, whereas in these joint practices, you can get 25 red zone snaps. You can get 4th and 1. So most teams are believing now that these inter squad things are more important than actual preseason games.
Okay.
So, and occasionally you have to deal with a fight, and that happens. And welcome to the world of competitive alpha males. And we love to make it a big deal at this time of year, but I can assure you, as long as no one broke anything and no one went Myles Garrett and swung a helmet, everyone's fine.
All right. Did you see that Andy Reid almost died?
Yeah, the red walrus.
Dude, this is terrifying.
Andy Reid, by the way, who might be the sweetest, but also kind of like, how would you describe Andy Reid? He's very even-tempered.
He's a teddy bear.
He's a teddy bear, but like talking to guys that play with him, dude, he will rip you a new a-hole when necessary, but like in a weird fatherly sort of way.
A bullet pierced through the Kansas City coach's window on May 2nd, 2024, and lodged itself in a wall near his bathroom 15 feet from his desk where he was sitting.
Freaking terrifying.
Yikes.
Yes. I saw this I think the New York Post had this one.
Luckily, no one was injured.
Yeah.
A Kansas City Police Department spokesperson said the matter is still under investigation, but as of now, there is no indication this was a targeted incident.
No, just like someone fired one or it got caught in a stray or whatever.
Because the building was occupied at the time of the bullet coming through the windows, the case is being investigated as an aggravated assault.
Yeah, and who would, I have heard nothing about this. Nothing.
No, it didn't. This was a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Was it like was it like some overnight security guard heard something and was like, I think I saw something.
I mean,
and then walked over and the security guard was like, there's a hole in the window there. It happened around like midnight. And
I don't know where their facility is, but I can tell you there is a lot of gun violence there.
Well, Kansas City is kind of a sneaky.
Oh, dude, it's got some rough spots.
It's a sneaky rough town.
But I don't I can't imagine that's where. I don't know where their facilities are.
Yeah, I
So
don't know.
that's a weird one. Can you imagine if we woke up to that story? Andy Reid
taking
a bullet to the head while just sitting at his desk.
Yeah. Well, but Andy Reid wasn't there.
No, he was. He was sitting right at his desk. That's what it just said.
Oh, I thought when I read it, I thought they said the building was occupied, but Andy Reid wasn't at his desk.
It said, let me read it again.
But I could be wrong because I saw this earlier in the day.
Yes, it says the bullet lodged itself in a wall near his bathroom, about 15 feet from his desk, which is where he was sitting.
Oh, okay. Then I stand corrected. And there was and by the way, there was a couple. One like went into an air conditioning unit. Another one went into like a floor above his. So it wasn't just one bullet. Someone, could have been one of those things too. What if two cars were just driving by, kind of gang related? Someone sprayed some bullets, and just imagine some gangbanger that loves the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's firing at a rival gang, and then it turns out he's like, guys, I think I killed Andy Reid.
Or maybe it's just Raiders fans.
Totally. Oh, ooh.
Well, I mean.
Well, anyway,
it is. I don't want to say this.
Ooh, he's gonna say it.
Well, I just had this thought, right? I really have. With all of the
so they're out at Arrowhead, and that's an Independence.
They're at the stadium.
Yeah, if they're out at Arrowhead, that's an Independence, and it's a rough. It's a rough area.
So you think about how polarized everything is in the country.
I mean, it's not the greatest area.
Yeah. Well, like where the White Sox play, like in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
You don't.
A lot of drugs and
get
stuff.
the hell out of there. But as polarized as everything is, and as crazy as sports fans are, I have often thought it's a little surprising to me that someone hasn't done something bad, because we all know, like after games, you can go out and see the where the players park. You can see where the team bus is. Where the facilities are. I'm just surprised that you haven't had some wackadoo fan get riled up for some reason and go spray a bus down or stand outside of a player's locker room and do something. Like we had Monica Seles, right? We had that happened.
Yeah.
Dude stabbed her. And we've had some stalkers and stuff, but I don't think have we had like an assassination attempt on a big time player?
Would it be called an assassination?
Well, yeah,
murder
I guess.
attempt.
I mean, a murder attempt. I don't know. I guess it would be an assassination attempt if it was targeted.
Yeah, I mean, like what constitutes assassination versus
murder?
Murder.
Yeah, I think it's just like assassination. We assume is like a political figure, and so maybe this would just be a murder. But I have had that thought a time or two.
Well, you had the Redskins guy.
Redskins guy.
He was murdered.
Redskins guy. Sean Taylor. But that was just a burglary gone wrong. They didn't set.
Yeah, that wasn't someone.
They didn't set out to kill Sean Taylor. They were burglarizing his home, and Sean Taylor came down and they shot him in the leg, and he bled out. I'm saying.
You mean like targeted?
Somebody with the purpose of like, this person's pissed me off, I'm going to go kill them.
Think about how nuts. I mean, we had that Red Sox Yankee fan. I forget which way it was, but one of their fans drove a car into a pack of the other one. I mean, we see wackadoos all the time, and certainly political wackadoos. We had someone try to kill the president, or the guy that was to be president. We had that attempt. Like we see this from time to time, and find me, like politics has become so like just insane one side or the other, and sports has that. I mean, there's a reason they call them fans. It's fun addicts, and I'm just surprised we haven't had what's that Robert De Niro movie? I think it's called The Fan, right? De Niro goes after Wesley Snipes or whatever. That we haven't had, especially with all the social media and guys getting pissed at one another and the gambling aspect. I see some dude who loses $100,000 on someone dropping a punt or something and decides, you know what, dude, it's payback time.
We're missing the most obvious one, and that was the Colombian soccer player.
Yeah,
who was murdered for kicking the ball into the U.S.'s goal.
Yeah, and they were not.
I forget his name.
Yeah,
Steve McNair. His girlfriend killed him.
That's true, but again, that was a a lover's quarrel.
Also, how about this? Dino Bravo, hockey player.
I thought Dino Bravo was
wrestler.
A wrestler.
Yeah, wrestler. Sorry.
Yeah.
He was shot dead in his home in Quebec. No one knows for sure what happened, but they suspect connections to the mafioso.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Dino Bravo. And then there's another one. Vernon Forrest was gunned down.
Oh, the boxer.
The boxer.
Yeah.
He was shot on 2 separate occasions.
Ew.
And died.
Huh.
So there's a few for you.
Well, luckily, Andy Reid's still with us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, that scared the bejesus out of you.
They have one other thing. They have arrested the Ohio man who was behind throwing one of the sex toys onto the court in the WNBA games.
Yeah.
Well, his name is Charles Burgess. He is 32. This was in New York, but he's from Ohio.
Yeah.
So they finally arrested him. He has been charged with 2 counts of assault because he hit the 12-year-old girl with a Dido.
Now, he may be in some trouble because he hit the 12-year-old girl. The judge may take some exception to that, but you see the guy that hit the ICE officer with the Subway sandwich?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, dude threw a Subway sandwich at an ICE officer.
Whacked him with it
hit him in the
bag.
And they arrested him, and they like threw the cuffs on him, like they stormed his house. It was a whole thing. And they tried to charge him with felony assault and whatever, and they went before the judge, and the judge was like, dude, stop it.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, and they threw it out, and we're like, this is
Hey, I like
ridiculous. Because if you threw a sex toy on the court and you had to stand before and they tried to charge you with a serious crime, I'm guessing the judge is like, dude, here's a fine, get out of here. But in this case, you did hit a 12-year-old with a sex toy. That guy may be in some trouble.
Apparently
he's not going to jail, but
she's traumatized, I guess, which is a little much.
That's,
but
yeah.
did you see what he was wearing, though? They have video of him at the arena.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, so
It tracks.
It totally tracks. I'm just, since you didn't see this, don't look it up.
Yeah,
Don't look it up. I
okay.
see your fingers moving.
Yeah, I was gonna look
put
him
him
up.
in jail. Yee-hoo! What do you think would be the most likely thing? It's just shirt.
Yeah.
What was represented on his shirt?
Oh, I'm thinking something. It's gonna be something really sexist and just stupid, like a Big Johnson shirt or something.
That's close.
Yeah.
He had a Beavis and Butthead shirt on.
Perfect. No, he did.
He did.
He sure did.
What?
He did. They have footage of
First
him.
off, who still has a Beavis and
He was
Butthead?
wearing a Beavis and Butthead shirt.
Oh my god.
And throwing Didos onto the. I mean,
Yeah, it's
just put him away for life.
ship him out to my bum voyage. Put him on the boat. You don't get to be with the rest of us. Head on out.
All right. Well, the in and
According
out.
to Swag, he should like lose a hand or something because it's the worst crime anyone's ever committed.
Well, let's be fair to Swigard. He was saying they should arrest these people, and you were like, "Oh, they're never going to do that."
I think we're going to stop.
Well, they
The
did.
dude's not going to jail.
They arrested him.
Yeah, you can get arrested for a lot of things and then released about 2 seconds later.
Well, the In-N-Out Burger is open in Ridgefield,
Yeah.
and listen, I got to bring something to your attention. They interviewed a man named Kevin
Yeah.
on the news.
I saw some of the stories.
What the?
I don't know.
What is wrong with people?
Well, we're throwing sex toys. We're waiting in line for 4 hours.
We'll get to that next on In the News, but first, here's Buck with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan, out in Green Bay, fights between the Seahawks and Packers in their joint practices today. Nearly a dozen of those had to get broken up. Packers right tackle Zach Tom was kicked out of practice for throwing punches at Seahawks linebacker Ernest Jones and defensive back Devin Witherspoon. After practice, head coach Mike McDonald said that quarterback Jalen Milroe will play the entire game for the Seahawks from start to finish in their final exhibition on Saturday as Sam Darnold and Drew Lock sit. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, head coach Kevin Stefanski said the starters will play in the Browns' preseason finale against the Rams on Saturday. Joe Flacco will start. Dylan Gabriel will come off the bench. He'll be followed by Shedeur Sanders. Kenny Pickett remains sidelined with his hamstring injury. And round one of the PGA Championship is in the books out at East Lake. Russell Henley, your leader, after firing a 9-under 61. He's got a 2-shot lead on Scotty Scheffler, who sits alone in second at 7 under. A crowded leaderboard tied for third as Colin Morikawa, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantley, and Justin Thomas are all 3 shots back at 6 under. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies act you like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Now, here's a question. If you're Andy Reid and you get a bullet whizzing by your head while you're sitting in your office, but nothing happens to you, you don't get you don't get hurt. Can you still call the advocates?
I don't think so. I think you need someone to have wronged you that you can prove. Now, the people that got hit with the Bilbo Baggin green thing at a WNBA game, that's when you call the advocates. If you're sitting there with your kid at a WNBA game or really any sporting event and a guy in a Beavis and Butthead shirt or a Big Johnson shirt or maybe a big dog shirt, possibly bad boy or tap out. I think those are the t-shirts that you want to be on the lookout for.
No fear potentially as
no,
well.
Oh, I like that. No fear. And you do get hit with a sex toy. Telling you, your first call.
You know what, though? From what I know of Ken and Donnie, I don't think they take the case.
No?
No. They look at the 12-year-old girl like, you're not hurt.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I will tell you this.
They're not slimy lawyers.
No, but Donnie's a big fan of women's sports. So
yeah, she is.
If it's at a WNBA game, she's going to take that personally.
Yeah, she was talking Storm at dinner.
Oh, yeah. She's a big fan up there in Seattle.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Got to defend the WNBA.
Don't do it.
Listen, don't mess with Ken and Donnie, okay?
No.
They're personal injury attorneys. The Advocates, they are at advocateslaw.com. You should go check them out. Hey, listen, if you've been injured, you need more than a lawyer. You deserve an advocate. Once again, check them out at advocateslaw.com.
Aloha, Portland sports fans.
All right, welcome back. It is August 20. No, it's August 21.
There you go.
2025. It is time now for In the News. I am your noted newsman. Thank you. Please be seated. And now all rise.
The honorable.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
It's brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com.
Have you been hit at a WNBA game?
Today is National Senior Citizen Day.
Oh, we love the olds. I got
Well,
rolled
we
up.
sure don't act like it.
No,
I don't think we do.
Really?
I don't think we treat our olds very well in our society.
Oh no, but I like to think that I respect the olds.
Oh, yeah, you may. I'm just saying, like, the
yes.
we.
Plenty of individuals do, but collectively we don't enough.
It's valid.
We need more patience with our olds.
Yeah, you got to respect them. I got rolled up on today by an old.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was outside doing some yard work, and an old rolled up on a bike and said, "Hey, you big sook?" And I was a little worried. And I was like, yeah. He's like, "I thought you lived around here." And again, I wasn't certain where he was going with it.
Do you have a stalker?
No, he wanted me to know. He wanted to. His big question was, "Where'd you find that Will Ortner?" And I was like, all right.
What a strange question.
I guess he taught Will.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like, yeah, he's down in Texas, and we had a nice interaction. He said he liked the show, and then he got back on his little e-bike and he scooted away. So
All right.
I don't know.
Good little interaction there.
I just wasn't, when someone pulls up and drops the "Hey, are you?" and it was a very serious sort of tone.
My answer, anytime anybody says, "Hey, are you Isaac or whatever?" I say it depends.
Yes, yeah. Who wants to know?
Do you like him? I love him. Yeah. Well, then yes, that's me.
Well, I do. Well, I appreciate the asking of the question. Like, who did you think I was? Did you?
He wasn't sure.
You knew.
He had to confirm.
Did you there's another person that looks like me in that neighborhood? Like, come on. Like, I'm pretty easy to spot.
But he doesn't know. He wasn't sure if you lived in the neighborhood.
Wasn't certain.
He's confirming.
Yes.
Could I see your driver's license, please?
What if I said no? I wonder if he would have been like, "I think you are." I've been like,
He would have just, he would have plowed right through that stop sign. No, I'm pretty sure that's you.
Yeah. But he was nice. I forget his name was, but he taught Will Ortner and Will Ortner's dad.
By the way, for those that don't know, because we haven't really talked about it, Will Ortner did take a job in Dallas.
Yes.
So he is not here anymore.
Which is
and
weird.
We miss him.
He's in Texas covering the Seahawks.
Yeah, well, it's like a national outfit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a YouTube thing where he's got, like, each person has a YouTube channel, and then his YouTube channel, he got hired for the Falcons, and somehow they moved him to the Hawks. So he's
the Falcons?
Yeah, he got hired in Dallas to cover the Falcons. So which is weirder, getting hired in Dallas to cover the Falcons or getting hired in Dallas when you're from Washington to cover the Seahawks after they told you no to the Falcons?
No, that's weird. But he doesn't really cover them, does he?
You just
What do you do? What's he doing?
He does cover. I mean, he'll watch the games. He'll give analysis on them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not covering them as in interviewing at the press conferences.
You just
but
watch.
covering
You
from a
watch
content
the
standpoint.
Seahawks games, and then you talk about it. Like Mystery Science Theater, but for sports.
It is also National Spumoni Day.
Oh,
I love Spumoni.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I haven't had it since I was 7. But
so, are you really a fan?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
And yet, you never eat it.
No, I never eat ice cream. I've told you this before. Ice cream is the greatest item that I never eat. It's the item I love most that I never eat.
Huh.
I love ice cream.
Me too.
But I just never eat it.
Yeah, Spumoni is mid for me. I'm like, whatever.
Well, what does this say about our man Kevin? Now, I was reading a story about the In-N-Out Burger out there at Ridgefield.
Just opened, right?
Yeah, just opened. Fans lined up overnight. Although they said no camping.
No.
But they lined up in their cars.
They were there.
Apparently, it was a 4-hour wait to get a burger. And
it's just so stupid.
So they opened. They had a ribbon cutting, with the giant scissors.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd quickly filled the line in the back of the parking lot. Steady traffic. They filled up a nearby gravel lot with several lines, some waiting 4 hours to place their order.
Dude, it looked insane.
This from KGW. Kevin Keene of Milton, Washington, near Seattle, was the first in the drive-through line. He got there around 8:15 p.m. the night before.
So he got there at 8:15. They opened at 10:30.
He got there at 8:15 the night before.
Yeah, so he waited, 4 hours, basically 4 hours to midnight, and then another 10 and a half hours.
Correct.
So he was there for 14 plus hours waiting to get an In-N-Out burger.
He said, I was actually technically the second person, but the person in front of me had to leave, so I got the first spot. His order included 3 double-doubles, 3 fries, and even an unsalted puppy patty for his dog.
Did he get all for just him?
For being first, Keene received a T-shirt, a burger coin, and a wristband. He said, and this is why I'm bringing this up, I just need to know how you feel about Kevin. He said, I'm just going to frame everything.
Okay.
He said, I have been waiting my whole life for this.
No, he didn't.
That's what he said.
He didn't say that.
That's what he said.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that.
It's right here in quotes.
What is Kevin? I don't want to ask what Kevin looks like.
I don't know. I don't. You got to explain this to me.
We need to aim higher, Kevin. We got to
maybe get out more.
I don't want your life.
We look. I've always said, like, in this world, it's better. A wiser man than me once said, "Don't be a goalie. Either assist or get out of the way." But every now and then, someone's got to tug on your cape there and tell you that you gotta take stock. You gotta take a step back and maybe look at what we're doing. And Kev, I love you, brother. And if this makes you happy,
brother,
go for it. But we got to get you laid. We got to get you out a little bit. Maybe do a little exercise. We got to find some new hobbies. You're going to frame a burger coin
in the wristband
that you waited 14 hours
That's right.
to get.
Yep, hang it up proudly.
We've got to figure something out.
There's another kid, 16-year-old, said, "It's honestly the best burger I've ever had."
And
of course he said that. He's got his microphone in his face. What's he going to say? It was mid?
That's fine.
True.
Even if it is the best burger you've ever had.
But he's 16.
You can't wait.
How many good burgers has he had at 16?
14 hours?
Best burger. Dude, get out more. But you are 16.
I'm looking at Kevin here, and I'm...
Oh, you see Kevin?
So what's he supposed to say? No, you know what? I'm only 16. You really shouldn't be asking me.
I don't know. I think it's just the fact that everybody spits this bullcrap about In-N-Out. Why? What did In-N-Out... How did they do this? How did they build such a reputation? I've eaten at In-N-Out. It's not that good.
It's better than McDonald's.
Yes, it is. I agree with that. But it's not that good.
It's like Burgerville. With less on the menu.
What did they do to create this? It's whatever they did, whoever's behind it, they're a genius.
No.
Because these people are fooled hook, line, and sinker.
Pete One Lawrence has an unbelievable text here, and it won the day. You could have drove to Medford, had no lines, and come back and been in bed for 3 to 4 hours in the amount of time he waited.
Yeah, but he wanted to
be the first. It wasn't
I'm just
about
saying,
not waiting.
You could have drove to Medford, eaten, driven back, and still saved 4 hours as opposed to waiting. And by the way, how happy was he? Because he waited all that, and he was only going to be second.
Yeah, I bet he doesn't get that cool burger coin without being first.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's one. They're opening one on Mill Plain, and it's gonna be. I mean, there's just no place to put those cars because I'm looking at the photos here, like of where they stack those. I don't know what they're gonna do with that one on Mill Plain. Like, eventually, this has to run out, right? Like, are people? We're gonna wake up one day and just be like,
does this happen in California? Because I know they're mostly in California.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, when I was in middle school, one opened in like the suburb next to ours, and it was a big deal for a while because it was like the first. I don't know. It was the only one probably within 20 or 30 miles. So like it wasn't.
Okay.
And it did draw people. It didn't. I don't think there were overnight lines. But I think that at times people would wait 1 or 2 hours, but it wasn't as novel.
Are there
as
still
this.
long lines down at the one in Kaiser?
I'm assuming so, but I don't know. I've been to 2 in my life. We went to one in Utah. They have one in Salt Lake, and there is no line. This was years ago. Me and my buddy went, and drive through, no problem, just normal. And then we went to one on the pier. What's the Pier 39 in San Francisco? Is that the big touristy pier?
Sure.
And
shouldn't you know that, Buck?
Well, yeah, that is where the In-N-Out Burger is in San Francisco, and that place gets gnarly because you get a bunch of riff-raffy, I don't know.
Well, and my kids, and this was years ago, I took my kids to San Francisco. They wanted to try In-N-Out, and we waited 30 minutes, I would say. And the only reason we did is because the kids, we were down there, and I was like, all right, if you want to wait for this, we'll wait. You be the good dad, you suck it up. And one of the proudest moments I've had in my life is when we got our food, we sat down and we ate it, and I was like, hey, kids, like, what do we think? And I was prepared for, like, buy them T-shirts. I'm like, I thought we were going to do the whole deal, and every one of my kids was like, what? Like, what is this? I was like, it's a burger.
In-N-Out. Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys need, like, a T-shirt? And they're like, no. They're like, this is dumb. And
It's so weird.
And we just left. But
Is it a little bit like Dick's in Seattle, where there's kind of a weird novelty attached to it?
dude, first off, I love a bag of Dick's. But
you do.
the thing about Dick's is there's no wait. Dick's is pre-made. Like, you walk up and
If they open a new Dick's location.
maybe. It's become a cultural thing.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Well,
it's,
how
it-
does
it's
that
no
happen?
longer, who knows? Why does something become viral? It is.
And then how does it have the staying power? That's the other part.
Yeah, it is just a cultural phenomenon. And if you knew how to do that, you'd be worth $1 billion.
Well, that's very true. I would like to watch a documentary on how In-N-Out became what it is.
Yeah.
Because somewhere in there's probably somebody who is really smart with a couple of decisions.
Yep.
Because their food it's not their food. It's just not.
No.
It's not their food.
No, there's something else. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
All right, a 13-year-old leads deputies on a wild chase. That story next on The Fan.
This is the Fan's window into sports. A view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation. Online at windownation.com.
Driven to left field. Racing back is Carlson at the wall. It's gone. Christian Walker providing some punch for the Astros offense. A 2-run first inning shot off of Young. The 252nd of Walker's career, and the Astros strike first when they very much needed to.
Well, the stupid Astros are winning again.
Yeah. I mean, the only saving grace for the Mariners during this swoon is no one else in that division is playing any better. They all stink right now, but the Astros on the board.
Window Nation, 50% off all window styles, 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com/Portland Thorns for your free in-home estimate.
Dirt and spray. Dirt and spray.
I'm Dirt. I'm asking sincerely, and I want to know if the fan bases are getting concerned about it or if they're also in the same camp.
Too much hype's always scary.
It is.
Always.
I think the Super Bowl champions, as we start week 1 in 2 weeks, I think it's Denver and Seattle. And I'm not sure it's close.
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, having a good time here. August 21, 2025. This is in the news.
By the way, K2 has a live stream up currently.
Yeah.
At the In-N-Out.
In Ridgefield?
They just have a camera, a live stream.
Why? Like, what are we looking for?
I don't know. But the Washington State Police, the state troopers and Ridgefield Police are on scene. And
why?
My buddy's the state trooper sent me a text and is like, we're there. The Washington State Police is there to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And they're saying on the live stream right now, the drive-through is about 2 to 2.5 hour wait. And if you want to go in, you can get it. They have lines outside like a Disneyland queue. And they said that's like 30 to 40 minutes. Jeez. If you're willing to get out of your car and stand in line. Hey, man. People love In-N-Out.
A 13-year-old is facing charges after Multnomah County Sheriff's Office deputies caught him driving a car full of other teens along Interstate 84 early Sunday morning. The incident started at about 3:15 a.m. when a deputy tried to pull over a driver she thought was under the influence on 84 near exit 16.
Turns out they just couldn't reach the pedals.
The driver sped off, and a chase ensued. Deputies had to use spike strips and did a pit maneuver to eventually stop the car.
Imagine being 13 and you're getting pit maneuvered by the police. Where do you go from there?
Future looks bright for this young fella.
I guess.
There were no injuries to any of the 6 teenagers inside the car.
Good Lord. Can you imagine what 6 13-year-olds are doing in a car while they're being chased by the police down 84?
Dude, I bet they were having the time of their life.
Yeah, they're probably thinking it's great, Grand Theft Auto. And they're probably saying what all 13-year-olds are saying, there'll be no consequences to this. Like, you're not going to, send me to juvie for a week and I'll be fine. It's like all these little kids now have this like mentality of there's no consequences because I can't be charged as an adult.
Does it also feel like kids used to be fearful of their parents and now that doesn't happen either? So they're like, I'm not scared of my parents and I'm also not scared of authority, so what should I be scared of?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing scarier in this world than like a 13 to 15-year-old that just, they have no, like you said, there's no fear of anything.
Yeah, these kids today, man, they have way more balls than we did.
Well, there was that
Did
one.
you ever joyride? Did you ever?
Oh, God, no.
You ever take
No.
Take Dad's car out for a
No.
3:15 a.m.
I had a kid in my
spin?
town who did, and it was a huge deal. Like a huge deal. He was 12.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
Yeah, I didn't have the balls to do that.
No. And mine wasn't like, my dad wouldn't have done it, but there was someone else in my house that would have, I think someone would have looked the other way while I got the living hell kicked out of me. My beatings were farmed out from the parental units. But no, like that just wasn't a thing. But like you see all the time, there was a retired sheriff in Las Vegas that got run over. I think they were like 15, 16. Dude, they ran him down in a stolen car and recorded it and like posted it. And we're laughing about it. And when they arrested him, he tells the cop he's being arrested. And he's like, whatever. He goes, I'll be out in a week. And that's the mentality of I'm 15. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we had that. Remember there was the string of carjackings that were like the people were getting 11-year-olds. We talked about it. Some gang was having like 11-year-olds carjack people and then like bring them the cars, and like it's kind of genius because if an 11-year-old gets caught carjacking, like they're like, well, and can't send him to prison. He's 11. And it's just it's crazy. There's no repercussions.
Well, I think we need to send kids to work camps.
I mean, how
about that?
Got to be something. Like you said, 6 13-year-olds in a car on a high-speed chase, and you're right. I'm willing to guess they all thought it was great.
Oh, they were laughing and carrying on?
Yeah. Thankfully.
Although there's probably always one kid that's like,
scared.
No. Yeah, like that would have been me.
Yeah.
If I were back there.
Me too.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Well, luckily it was 3 in the morning, so probably not a lot of people out. But you imagine you're coming home from like a midnight shift or whatever, and
that's right.
Some dip-ass 13-year-old runs you down.
Could have been very bad.
Yeah.
That is in the news, Aug 21, 2025, brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Up next, good idea or bad idea? We return to college football on the Fan. Hey, what's up? It's Rob sticking around for my friends at The Nash. It is August, but you already knew that, and it's about to get really hot. So this is one time of year when it gets hot. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, it's one time of year where you can really tell if your windows are working for you. If they're old builder grade windows, you may want to think about replacing them because one, when it gets hot, your AC in the house, hopefully you have AC, the new windows from Window Nation will keep that cool air in your house much better, lower your energy bill, but it'll do the same on the opposite effect in the winter. They have high quality windows. They are custom built. They partner with Milgard here in our area for windows for our climate. And right now at Window Nation, you can get 50% off all styles. They have over 1,500 styles and colors to choose from. Their installation crews are the best in the business. They will also allow you to put zero down, make no payments, and pay zero interest for 2 years. And if you replace your whole house of windows, you can get a pair of Portland Thorns tickets. So if you've been putting it off, now is the time. And hey, maybe over the next couple of days, just pay attention to how leaky your windows may be when you have the AC on full blast inside the house. And if they're leaking, you got to give Window Nation a call. Schedule a fast free estimate at 866-90-NATION. You can also log on to windownation.com/Portland Thorns. Window Nation, license number OR 249065.
For the fans, for the world. On August 23rd.
RSK FM HD1, Malala, Oregon. And Odyssey Sports Station. Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan. Out in Green Bay, fights between the Seahawks and Packers today in their joint practice. Packers right tackle Zach Tom was kicked out of practice after throwing punches at multiple Seahawks players. After practice, head coach Mike McDonald said that Jalen Milroe will play the Saturday exhibition from start to finish as Sam Darnold and Drew Lock sit. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, Joe Flacco will play for the first time this season. Dylan Gabriel will come off the bench, and Shedeur Sanders will follow him against the Rams on Saturday. Round one of the PGA Championship is in the books at Eastlake. Russell Henley, your leader after firing a 9-under 61. Scotty Scheffler is 2 shots back in second at 7-under. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7, after Isaac and Souk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
What do girls want anyway? Well, apparently not total losers. We're pretty good at basketball. Yeah, as long as we don't have to run or jump or dribble or nothing.
Isaac Robb.
Hey, you guys up for a little game?
Sure.
Well, let's make it interesting. Say $20.
How about 50?
You're on.
Jason Sukanik.
Dude, we don't have $50. We don't have 20.
This is Primetime on the Fan Sports Network.
What the hell's up with that? We win, and they get the chips. That sucks, dude.
105.1 and 1080.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's jobs. We gotta get jobs. Then we get the khakis. Then we get the chicks.
The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Thursday. You've got your Sports Bros here on 105.1 FM.
I'm knee-deep in Steelers-Panthers preseason football.
The Fan Sports Network. I'm Isaac. Big Sook, right over there. Look at him watching Steelers-Panthers.
Jack Plummer versus Skylar Thompson. Let's go.
What?
That was the quarterback. Actually, it was Mason Rudolph, and then he gave way to Skylar Thompson. So
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah. Kansas State product.
Oh, that's right.
He played for the Dolphins?
Yeah, Miami. Yeah. He played. Was he the guy that
the
actually played in the playoff game?
Yeah, damn near. Like they
almost won in Buffalo.
Yeah, I
or
think
something.
it was Buffalo. Yeah, when Tua was doing Tua things like getting hurt.
What a baller.
Yeah. The third string quarterback there in Pittsburgh. The backup quarterback game right around the corner
next week. I think.
Yeah,
I think
it better be.
NFL doesn't start next week, does it?
Or is it 2 weeks away?
Yeah,
or
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So this is the last
Thursdays.
preseason.
So we have 2 weeks. You have plenty of time. It better not.
This is the last preseason, and then you get the off week, and then you go into the season.
So I like to wait till the off week because then they actually finalize their rosters.
Yes. But this will be this week. This is the third preseason game for Pittsburgh and Carolina. And then, so by the time, I don't even think there's games on Sunday. I think they all wrap up on Saturday, and then the preseason is over this weekend. And then we got to make cuts, and then you get a week of practice, and then you actually go into the game week.
Well, if you're just tuning in, good little announcement earlier today where we revealed to you that Oregon coach Dan Lanning is returning to our program beginning next week. He'll be on every Thursday, 4 o'clock. He'll be talking with his helmet, brought to you by Philbrook Law.
Also probably with his mouth.
Yeah.
I don't think Dan Lanning wears a helmet.
He wore a hat the other day, and one of you thought he looked like dirt.
Oh, my God. Did you see that?
No. I've never seen him wear a hat.
He's never a hat guy. He's even talked to us about it.
He never wears a hat.
He says he just doesn't think they fit his head very well, but it must have been sunny or something, and boy.
He had a hat on. He looked exactly like dirt.
Really?
Yeah, it was...
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty wild.
I see it here. Yeah, he's at the press conference.
Was that the one where he was dressing down James Crepea again?
Yeah, for asking about the Jurion Dickey stuff, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's wearing a sleeveless vest sort of thing, and he's got that. Yeah,
Doesn't he look like dirt?
There is a dirt. Boy, I have never... My mind right now blown. And if you want to piss him off, ask him about that. Yeah,
about what?
Just be like, hey.
About the hat?
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
think...
you look like one of our morning show hosts? Do you think he cares about that?
I think he will. That's just one of the... I don't know why. I don't know if that's going to go well. He might be sensitive about the hat.
Dirt and I interviewed Dan Lanning once in person at Media Day. I wonder if Dan Lanning ever thought they looked alike when he looked at him.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't think Does anyone ever think someone else looks like them?
No.
Yeah,
you don't really...
If you're honest about it, yeah.
But a lot of people aren't.
No,
I mean,
that's
I
true.
feel
And
like...
often it's a stretch.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is not really.
Maybe we should ask Dan Lanning, one of our questions should be who's his celebrity doppelganger?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's the old, if someone would play you in a movie, and do you choose the accurate portrayal, or do you go with, who you want to play you in a movie?
I'm putting that in the notes.
This should go well.
And then I may sneak in a comment that, your hat and our morning show.
I've never thought that, but now that I see him in the hat, I can't unsee it. And now I'm seeing other photos of him, and there's
a resemblance.
There's a resemblance there.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, just jotting this down real quick.
AI says Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, and Michael Bublé.
Oh, I can see Bublé.
I don't see it.
You don't see Bublé?
Well, I'd need to look at
a little bit
photo.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I was listening today, like, I don't know if he'd be like, some guys get weirdly sensitive about stuff. Josh Pate was on with Dirt and Sprague, and they asked, because Pate's a big, he's a bro. He go when he goes to the facility, he's got to pump iron.
That guy's been busy, man. He's got to deal with ESPN and with Busting with the Boys now.
So he's like, he pumps iron, and they asked like what's landing bench press, and Pate got eerily quiet and was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that."
As in, like, not enough.
I don't know. He just wasn't. It was a non-starter for that conversation. So I don't know. Some guys get weird. Some guys get weird about that sort of stuff. Start asking about who you look like and appearances, and I don't know. It can get strange.
Do you think it'll get weird when I ask Dan Lanning about Bryce Betcher calling him a meathead nerd?
That's in the notes as well, and that did happen.
It's on my notes. Yeah,
it's on the notes.
Yep, I keep Lanning notes here.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, 4:00 every Thursday, right here on the Fan Sports Network, you will hear from the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, Dan P. Lanning.
Is it Dan P?
I don't know. I just made that up. But
I mean, Dan P. Lanning seems like it works.
Daniel Arthur Lanning.
Oh.
I don't mind talking to y'all.
Dan A. Lanning.
I kind of like the way P sounds better.
Dana Lanning.
Talk about maybe changing it.
Okay, so big football hour here. If not Arch, who is number one next year? What Herbs is saying about Jim Harbaugh, and where are all the college football geniuses? Okay.
Okay.
These are all.
It's a lot to cover.
Yeah, I doubt we'll get to all that.
No, it's a lot to get into there.
But up next, is it a good or bad idea that we have our first major program college football head coach creating a podcast? Do we want this? Is this a good or a bad idea?
I'm intrigued.
Football Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. All season long, visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We'll be right back on 105.1 The Fan.
Oregon Ducks football is on The Fan.
Back to throw.
It's preseason football, and these are all backups, so put no stock into it.
You have hot takes?
Jackson Dart looks good.
Oh.
I mean, he's looked good all preseason, and they said that he's not going to be the starter. It's going to be Russ. Jackson Dart will be the starter within 5 weeks in New York. He, we talked about like Shedeur Sanders, and you have to keep passing tests. Jackson Dart has passed every single
Mr.
test.
Unlimited.
That's on Prime, so I got that up on my computer. And I got the
who they playing?
They are. Why am I drawing a blank? They got the Patriots, and again, like it's the preseason. It's the third preseason game. Some people are playing no one. Cam Scatterbo made his debut for the Giants. So I just was kind of keeping an eye on that. And the first drive, they just went right down the field. And every time I've seen Jackson Dart in this preseason, and he's one of those guys that like I'm actually intrigued by watching, he looks the part. Now, we'll see what happens when you get into live play and how well does Russell play. There will be an opportunity early for Jackson Dart, and I will be very interested because he right now looks like the most intriguing of these quarterbacks.
Well, you know who called that? Our friend Joey Harrington.
Yeah, Joey liked him.
Yeah, because Joey was a mentor at the Combine, and he had, it went alphabetical.
Yeah. So
he had like A through M or something.
It was.
But Jackson Dart was in there, and I remember asking him, I'm like, who stands out? Like, who's intrigued? And he mentioned Dart. He was like, dude, that guy, he's got it.
Yeah. So it's something to keep an eye on as the season rolls on, and because they could change their mind, but they have said that it's not a competition. It's Russ, and but he's gonna feel it because there's some heat coming from Dart.
Well, he'll probably get hurt or something.
Yeah. Well, and Russ isn't very good, but
is it a good idea? We have our first major college coach creating his own podcast.
Well, Doug Gottlieb is a college coach that wouldn't quit his job.
Yeah, I guess that's technically, I guess that's true.
Yeah, right.
So maybe we've answered our own question that it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea because Gottlieb's had one of the worst seasons. And
I just think upside versus downside. And I mean, you can talk about who it is and what it is, but the way it's billed even just gives me like this is a train wreck coming.
Yeah, so it's going to be Matt Rule at Nebraska.
Yeah.
He came out with it today. It's called House Rules with Matt Rule.
That's adorable.
And it looks as if they've just put a microphone and some podcast equipment in his office.
Yeah.
And he will sit at his desk and spit hot takes. It says, I know, or he opened it today. He posted one today, and it says, he's opened it with, I know what you're thinking. Why are we doing this? Why are we taking the time to give an inside look to each and every one of you, to all the great things happening here at the University of Nebraska? Man, we're so proud of what we're doing with our players, what we're doing with this program, and we want to give you an inside look behind the scenes, behind the curtain of a college football program. We want to talk about all the things that matter to you: college football, pop culture, young people. You know, I've been hired and fired in my life. I've been through a lot of things, and one thing I know is I'm not afraid to speak the truth, be authentic, and just be who I am. I'm Matt Rule, and this is House Rules.
I find it fascinating in that the world of college football coaching, I mean, we'll ask Dan Lannon about it. Dude, it is a meat grinder. I mean, those are 16-hour days. And do we know, is this going on in season? Is this once a week?
It just launched. I think he's doing it every Thursday during the season.
Okay, well, I mean,
it's kind of like a coach's show, which plenty of people do.
A coach's show. So I wonder, and this has to literally just be he shows up, sits down for an hour, and then gets up and leaves.
There is a co-host.
Yeah.
His name is Anthony Gargano.
There you go.
And they interview players.
So this will be much like the Jeff Pearlman quote. This will be a Nebraska hand. Can we say that? It'll be a Nebraska handy that Matt Rule will show up to every week, and you'll bring on the running back, and it'll be red meat for the Husker fans. And
well, he wouldn't do it if it wasn't that.
Yes.
Right. Like, I mean, it has to have only value to him, or he's not doing it. That said, I think he is outspoken enough that every once in a while he may go. Something. See, I think he's smart by doing that. I actually don't think this is a bad idea because one, Buck said a lot of coaches shows out there, and so he's just taking it in house and probably making it more convenient for him rather than go. A lot of them they go to a bar at night and sit down with the play-by-play guy or whatever. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna do it in my office.
Yeah.
And I feel like he is going to go viral a few times because something will happen. There will be a bad a call that pisses him off, and then he won't say anything in the post game, but then he'll get on his soapbox on his podcast or something, and people will be watching and listening, and he will go viral, and that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah, if you're Nebraska, you got to find a way to stick out, and
exactly.
And this is something that it's a good point in that it's not Gottlieb doing a daily show. It's literally just a coach. This is no different than the coach's show, other than it's called the Matt Rule podcast, and they're saying it a podcast, not a show, and it'll be from his office. But there won't be any, I don't think this is any groundbreaking. I thought it was like, oh my God, is someone trying to do like a daily or a 2 or 3 week? Like the Doug Gottlieb thing is the most insane thing that a coach has ever tried.
Most podcasts aren't daily, right?
No. Like I do one, like me and Nemec do one West Coast Bias that we do that's just, and we do it twice a week for an hour. And you just, I think most of them are like that. 2, maybe 3 times a week at the most.
That's what we should do.
You do an hour, and
don't you think?
I don't think the bosses would like that. But the fact that it's an hour and he will have nothing to do with it other than, I guarantee 2 minutes before that starts, he's going to sit down and there will be some PR person that's like, hey, by the way, this is what you're doing. Because like when Lanning films or tapes us, I'm sure he does all of his media car wash in that moment. I'll bet you he has 6 of those things.
He's probably got something at 3:45, something again at 4:15.
I don't think I think his is, I think he has 2 of them or 1.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been told before that is not a great time of day for him.
Yeah.
I think, in other words, I think some of this is, you're right, it's about scheduling. It's about Matt Rule's day.
Yeah.
And Matt Rule's day, because he likes to talk. I mean, he's not buttoned up like some of these other coaches.
Yeah.
So he probably does. There's an element of him that likes doing this and knows he can promote Nebraska by doing this.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably mostly that it checks a lot of his daily tasks in 1 hour.
Yeah.
It checks all of the things, and he can consolidate his day based off of it's like, because we've had just behind the curtain, we've had discussions with possibly moving Dan Lanning because his schedule is just not conducive to coming on here at 4:00.
Sure.
It turns out that
it's
going to happen this year, but so it's probably that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Matt Rule goes to them and says, I don't want to do my coach's show. That is annoying. I don't want to drive out there, the stupid drunk fans, whatever. And they're like, okay, well, what do you think about a podcast? We'll put it right on your desk, and you can say whatever you want, and we'll give you a host, and we'll give you a couple players to interview, and it'll be a giant,
Yeah, it's a love letter to Nebraska football.
And that's probably good for him because it saves him time.
Yeah. There is
and that's really it.
And you call it a podcast, you don't call it a coach's show, and then it's innovative.
See, exactly. That is so true. Just calling it a podcast makes us go, ooh. But if we said coach's show or radio show, we're like, oh, God, who cares?
There is an element, too, in this day and age, though. You're trying to stand out, and there's so many voices. There's so much noise out there. How do you stand out? And I don't know, good for Matt Rule for...
Well, there's an element to this that was like, but we're going to tell it like it is. And I'm like...
Yeah, he is saying
So you think you're going to push the envelope here? Is that a good idea?
So I was talking to my buddy today, who's a big Husky guy, and this is Prime. So he listens to, he likes listening to like Husky themed, obviously, like broadcasts, and so they have their version of this, like an in-house state media thing, and UW has some good hype around them. There seems to be, and I think UW will be good this year. I'm pretty bullish on the Dogs, and the first scrimmage they had, the offense looked amazing. Right, Damon Williams and they fixed their O-line and the offense. Oh my God, it's going to be great. And then the second scrimmage rolled around, so he was all excited about that. And the second scrimmage rolls around, and the offense didn't look very good. Do you think though that was the story, that the offense didn't look very good? No, the story was, oh my God, the defense. The defense is amazing. So I talked to him, and he's like, dude, have you heard? The defense, and I had to bring it up. I'm like, so which is it? Did the defense look like crap the first time around and the offense was great, and now it's just flipped? Is it one of those, like, everyone has one of these where it's always just, there's no more objective in-house media. It's really hard to be objective because when you're objective, no one gives you access. Like, if someone were to go in there and look at a program and come out and be like, I don't know, I thought the quarterback was a little shaky and the O-line looks bad, and I'm just not completely sold on this team. They just cut off your access because so many schools now are doing this where they're just putting out their own content. It's like, hey, you know what? We'll just, we'll do it on our station. We'll do it like Matt Rule. I don't want to go on a coach's show. I'll just have my own show, and I can control the message. It's becoming more and more state-run media, and even some of the national media is becoming state-run media, because if you want access to Dan Lanyon, or you want access to Kalen Bohr, or access to Ryan Day, you better go in there and you better put a rosy view on what it looked like when you showed up there, or you ain't getting invited back.
That is, I got to tell you, you have touched on one of my biggest pet peeves about what we do.
Yeah.
And it's that I've always found the mental gymnastics that people use to protect their own slant wildly odd.
Yeah.
I really do. I've never understood it. There's no impartiality, and that's it to some extent to be understood, but just the Blazers are kings of this.
Yeah. And by the way, Jason Quick, who used to come on our program for years and years, it really beat him down covering that beat, because he talked to him.
Well, it's just not truth.
It's not.
Just not. And
if you do tell the truth, you kind of get blacklisted.
And the guy that's really taken it to the umpteenth level is Donald Trump.
Yes.
But Olshey had that, where he didn't have the truth. He had his truth.
That's a big deal. Thank you very much.
It's the same with this Cowboys documentary.
Yeah.
Is it the truth? Maybe, maybe not. It's Jerry's
alternative facts.
It's Jerry's truth. Well, that's a thing now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, Donald Trump has blown the lid off of this.
Yeah.
But this has always been a thing in sports where it's in the best example is the Blazers. Their broadcasts. I mean, just
there's not an objective and
talk about polishing a turd.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. I've never understood it. And I'm not saying you have to go out of your way to criticize. I get why you can't.
No.
But, I mean, we can be a little bit more honest, a little bit more plain speaking, a little bit more like, oh, wow, that wasn't very good.
Yep.
There, Lamar, was it? No, Kevin, it wasn't. Actually, it was great. I've never seen anything so great. You know, it's just, it's really wild. And it happens in sports all the time. And you're right, it's getting worse.
It's getting worse and worse.
Because these products are all being now put out by... it's state run.
People have figured out the easiest way to control the narrative is to just
do your own.
Do your own.
Yeah. And there's value in that. People eat that up.
Yeah.
But this is, I guarantee you, any real media person listening to us right now is going, oh my God, yes, I am beating my head against the wall against all this crap.
And yet it's, if you want to get ahead and you want the access, song and dance, man, play the game. Because if you do it anymore,
you could have problems.
Gonna have problems.
All right, guys, that is football talk. But guess what? We have more football talk coming up next. Where is the college football genius? Here's Buck.
You do it anymore, you're going to have problems.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brian Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan out in Green Bay. Fights between the Seahawks and Packers in their joint practice today, roughly a dozen of them, according to the media. Packers right tackle Zach Tom was kicked out of practice after throwing punches at a couple Seahawks players. After practice, Hawks head coach Mike McDonald said that quarterback Jalen Milroe will play from start to finish in Seattle's final exhibition game Saturday as Sam Darnold and Drew Lock sit. Meanwhile, in Chicago, the starters will play for the Browns on Saturday against the Rams. That includes Joe Flacco, who will start. Dylan Gabriel will come off the bench, followed by Shedeur Sanders. Kenny Pickett remains sidelined with his hamstring injury. And round one of the PGA Championship is in the books out at East Lake in Atlanta. Russell Henley, your leader after one, firing a 9-under 61. Henley has a two-shot lead on Scotty Scheffler, who's alone in second at 7 under par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. It's time for Who's Leading the Charge? A look under the hood at the coaches, players, and teams getting it done. Brought to you by Battery Exchange.
Drilled shot by Diaz, deep left field, way back there and gone. A breakout night already in Baltimore for Houston against Brandon Young. 18th Diaz home run of the year. And it's a 7-1 Astros lead.
Yeah, it looks like the Astros are going to win tonight.
That'd put them up, what, 2?
2 games.
2 on the Mariners.
And then, do your pesky Royals play?
They won today.
Okay.
I told you that earlier.
So
they're only 2 back.
So 2 back.
Yeah. Let's go.
Getting interesting there.
Battery Exchange, reliable, affordable batteries for cars, boats, RVs, golf carts, and more. Online at batteryexchange.com, powered by Continental Battery Systems. Mention code BXT10 for 10% off.
The best sandwich and burger in town is at Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. Perfect for lunch on the patio or to go. Feed the whole office.
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, I was reading the Wall Street Journal yesterday. Good article popped up, and it was talking about the death of the college football genius.
Okay, who died?
Well, Mike Leach died.
Oh, okay.
You know, but no one physically, well, I guess he did physically die, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're talking more about the idea that college football has changed to where pretty much everyone's following the same model.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it used to be, and everyone can compete depending on how much money you have. Sure. Like the transfer portal and everything, you can get better really fast. It used to be that it was David and Goliath.
Yeah.
I mean, there were, like the air raid was born out of like Hal Mummy and Mike Leach and all those guys out of the necessity because they cannot, with their athletes that they had at those schools, they could not compete with the big boys.
Yeah, the idea was I can't have my 11 beat your 11 running the wing tee, but if I can line up a little slot receiver and he can beat one of your guys, well, I got a chance.
Then you had Chip Kelly come along.
The blur and
But they were pointing out that really doesn't exist anymore. Who out there right now in college football is revolutionizing the game other than it just becoming about spending?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of the last time someone really, because the blur offense, I mean, people still run it, but tempo isn't what it used to be. When Hugh Freeze and Chip Kelly were doing that, I mean, I remember like teams would do extra conditioning to get ready for that. And the fake injuries.
They were called gimmicks.
Yeah, they were gimmicks, but it certainly was
But they were gimmicks because you didn't see them every week.
Yeah. Boy, that's a good question. And, and we've had some people that, that have run a lot of the 2-3 man fronts in on the defensive side of the ball. But that's nothing new. I mean, lots of people do that. Some people were adopting some of the zone blitz concepts that that's the Dick LeBeau system, and that's nothing new. Some of the NFL defenses don't necessarily work in college because you don't have the athletes to run it. Like right now, the NFL is basically turned into a too high shell look. And you don't see that in college. They're two different games. I don't know. I really can't tell you who the innovator is right now. I mean, Lincoln Riley's offenses are usually really good and he's a quarterback whisperer, but I don't think anything Lincoln Riley's doing was groundbreaking. His offenses have come back down to earth. Yeah, I mean, I guess the innovator is who can spend the most money and get boosters to write big checks and become a sexy program and build facilities and get people to want to come.
When people say, "Oh, it's ruining college football," I think that's part of what they're talking about. Is this right here?
Yeah,
that it just becomes about, well, how big are your coffers, and how many good players can you bring in? Which, I mean, it's always been the name of the game.
Yeah,
but the lesser, like innovation is born out of necessity, right? Like teams and schools and coaches are innovating because they have to.
Yeah.
And now everybody's going about everything the same way. They interview, in this article, they interview a guy by the name of Vulcan Isler.
Mm-hmm.
Great name.
That is a great name. What's he do?
He is a computer science professor at University of Texas. And he says that college football is simply succumbing to an eternal law of innovation. Whether it's on a gridiron or in a laboratory, the further a field advances, the more incremental the gains it tends to realize.
Makes sense.
And that does seem to be what's happening.
Well, I was listening, Dave Bartu was on with, I believe, The Firm. And Dave was saying that, because Dave's such a big analytic guy, and he works with different programs. I don't know if Dave is public about who he works with, but big time programs hire him. And he was saying he was using some AI stuff to come up with like tendencies to where he can go in and he can break it down to where he's going to be able to deliver information that of tendencies on like third down based on quarter, down and distance, score, and is going to be able to deliver it to a defensive coordinator that he is going to, in any situation in real time, a defensive coordinator can be like, hey, it's second quarter, tie game, 3rd and 3 from the plus 35. This is the tendency of that team. I mean, it really has. I mean, analytics has become such a huge part of this that, sometimes like all the little, the little, I guess, kind of like gimmick stuff I think has been kind of taken away by, it's hard to surprise anymore with anything. Like we have the film study is so in depth and it's a copycat thing. And there's nothing really unique that's like an outlier anymore. Like we discover things and we create answers for questions so much faster than we used to do. It used to be like you would get stuff that would come around every 4 or 5 years and then there'd be an answer to it. It feels like sometimes we come up with answers for stuff in the span of like weeks or months because it's all sped up.
Well, the same guy, Isler, says that it's typically when this happens, when you get a lull in innovation, it's just the calm before the storm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what I will say. And
Things will change.
I get more analytic in the NFL game than I do in college, but like one of the trends that we're seeing right now, again in the NFL, is the Brian Flores looks, right? Which is keep everything in front of you, don't get beat, and then we're going to manipulate your protections. Like that's the NFL trend, and that right now is all the rage. And then on the offense side of the ball, it's motion, right? Everyone's running motion, and we're trying to we're tipping your hand. I don't know in college if that, because that takes so much time and experience, and you have to be really smart, and you got to have great athletes. So I think college football is more ripe for gimmicks, because I think if you do have something that catches people off guard, I think it's easier to do that in college, and it might take longer. So maybe that's what they're talking about, the calm before the storm. I think you'll see more of these in college than you will in the NFL. It's hard to get a big advantage in the NFL. But in college, when done right, it feels like, whether that's the air raid or the blur or, some of these crazy rocky long defenses, that you could have this. But Jim Harbaugh dominated college football by playing old school football. Jim Harbaugh won a national title by lining up and ramming it down your throat. He did the reverse of innovation. He said, we're going to unovate. We're just going to go play like 1989 football and stop us, and no one could.
Here's a text on the fan text line that says, I think the innovation in college football right now is coaches need to be cool. Yes, your program needs money, but then it becomes guys want to play for someone cool. Look at Dan Lanning, Matt Rule, even Dabo Swinney is trying to be cool now.
Yeah. Brian, that
is true. It's
jumping
funny.
in pools, and Brian Kelly's doing dances, and
well, we're looking for X's and O's innovation, but really the evolution. I don't know if it's innovation, but it's evolving with how the coaches are acting.
Yeah,
because they know they have to.
Yeah,
because
it's hard to be an old school red ass.
Well, and you got to get the transfers in, and you have to. It's recruiting matters more than ever.
Yeah,
because all the you got your money you're doling out, and
That's a good point.
That is
the best innovation right now is becoming a program that's cool. And look, take nothing away from Oregon because they've done a great job. The best thing that Oregon has done over the years is they've made themselves a sexy program. When you talk to kids and they bring up like what's a hot, cool program, Oregon is at the top of the list. It's cool to play at Oregon. And that money, and Oregon has both of those. And
besides Lanning, who are the top cool coaches in
Marcus
college?
Freeman right now is a really, really cool coach. Lane Kiffin is a cool coach that people want to be a part of.
Sark?
Yeah.
Does he have that?
Yeah, Sark's got that. Sark's a bro.
Kiffin.
Yeah, they're bros, man. It goes back to you want the kid to want to play for you. You want the mom to want to, and you want the dad to have a beer with you. And that's the model right now. And you're right. Even like Dabo and Brian Kelly, who are the least cool people on the planet, are trying to lean into that. Dabo's rapping. Brian Kelly's up there doing freaking
old guys
dances.
Those two old guys, it looks kind of sad.
Yeah, it looks sad.
But I get what they're trying to do.
Yep.
It's really a young man's game. Dillingham.
Yes. If I was a program and I needed a coach, I would go after the 30-something guy.
Because they're becoming less and less about the X's and O's.
Yes.
And I don't want to diminish their X's and O's role.
No.
But they're becoming more and more of the figurehead.
Build the program.
And then you hire the old crusty football guy with the messed up hat.
Yep.
He'll be your coordinator.
Yeah.
Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Coach Sweeney's got that drip, and now he's on TikTok.
Yeah. That's
Dabo on TikTok.
God.
Yeah. Someone said Kenny Dillingham's the best thing to happen to ASU in decades because of
this.
Cool. He's cool.
But he also makes it. He knows that. He knows he has to perpetuate that.
Yeah. He's down there on the game. He's down there on the field celebrating like a drunken frat kid.
Yep.
After games with the co-eds. Now, careful. Don't go Larry Eustachy. Don't go full Eustachy. But that works right now. That seems to be what is driving recruiting, and recruiting is what drives programs. Look, Dan Lanning doesn't want to jump into a pool with a kid, But when that kid is a 5-star kid that says, dude, you're going to jump in this pool with me, guess what? You're jumping in the damn pool.
Another text says the college innovation right now is scouting in front office.
Yes.
Very true.
GMs and program builders.
Yeah, it's all happening behind the scenes.
Yes. There is more of that than what's going on
in the X's and O's.
In the X's and O's. In the NFL, it's the opposite. The
Shane
NFL
Falco, so Malcho.
Well, the NFL is such a parity league that you really need an X's and O's advantage, where the best advantage you can get in college is just be bigger and stronger than everyone else, and that's getting better athletes. In the NFL, you can't get better athletes, so you better have an advantage in your schemes and schematics, and in college, it's kind of the opposite of that.
All right, up next, what Herbs is saying about Jim Harbaugh. 105.1, The Fan.
Okay.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Ducks athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
I mean, this team has grown. I think, early in the offseason, I was talking about where's the leadership going to come from. There's a lack of experience, but I would always give me talented players over guys that have a ton of experience that aren't talented. So we have talented players that maybe don't have as much experience, but in this last month of practice, they've gotten a lot of experience. Over the summer, they've gotten a lot of experience. And then we've seen leadership show up. So that gives me a level of confidence going into this season with, the group that we have.
That is Dan Lanning.
What we were just talking about,
Dan
right?
A.
Like,
Lanning.
I don't care that I've got a bunch of seniors. Give me talented guys. And if you give me enough talented guys, I'm going to win games. And that is what college football is.
Mods PDX, the future of building is here.
Dirt and spray. Dirt and spray.
I'm Dirt. This is the most talented Oregon team that he's ever had. Yeah. In UG. Dan Lanning, that is. The most talented team he's had. Going into year 4, this is the most talented team he's had. The interesting takeaway, because they are, I think to a certain extent, like I'm going to joke about nobody's giving them a chance, that this is a team that is a little bit flying under the radar going into the year. Are they? I think so. Like, I think Penn State's the easy favorite in the Big Ten.
The home of Dirt Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, coming up, Lil Nas X. It's not going well for him.
Nah, this isn't what you want. It's
not what you want.
It's problematic. The boots look nice, though. He was new boot goofing. Did you ever see Reno 911?
Yes.
Yeah, there's one of the best scenes in there is just, I'm just goofing, new boot goofing. Little Nas X was new boot goofing today.
Last night.
Yeah.
Anyway, Urban Meyer is back with some comments.
Herbs.
Yeah. Well, he's, of course, of Ohio State fame.
Well, Florida. Two national titles at Florida State, one at Ohio State. So
I know, but the for the sake of this story,
he's from.
It needs to be noted that he is from Ohio State.
Yes.
And he says Jim Harbaugh has gotten off relatively light from the NCAA regarding the sign stealing scandal.
God, really, Herbs?
And he is suggesting that the NFL should punish Jim Harbaugh.
I love it.
He said on his podcast, okay, so let me just read this to you. It's from CBS. Meyer, who has been rather vocal regarding his feelings on the Michigan NCAA situation, recently questioned whether the NFL should punish Harbaugh, who is going into his second season as the Chargers coach. Meyer said on his podcast, there will be an asterisk there, while referring to Michigan's national championship. There's an elephant in the room here, boys, though, and that's no one's talking about it. When Jim Tressel was fired at Ohio State and he was given a suspension, Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NFL, came out and said that we're going to honor that suspension. And you remember he went to the Colts to work in the replay room or something. The Colts, because of the respect they had for the NCAA and the suspension, you realize they suspended Jim Tressel so he was unable to perform his duties for the first 6 games of the year of the Colts. Any chance Roger Goodell and the NFL do something similar? Of course not. And I don't know why.
Herbs, you had a guy on your national title team that shot someone and you covered it up. Come on.
I didn't know that about Tressel, though.
I didn't know that either.
The NFL punished Jim Tressel?
Did they?
For his NCAA wrongdoing?
Well, but he was like working as like some sort of analyst. I don't know. They didn't punish Pete Carroll. Pete left. They didn't punish Chip Kelly. Like, if the Tressel thing is true, and maybe I don't know, maybe we're splitting hairs, but as far as I know, I can't think of a single college coach that had a show cause penalty, and there's been plenty of them that go to the NFL that has ever been an issue with the NFL, ever. They have nothing to do. In fact, if you tried to, I'm guessing that you would get your ass sued so fast. That's not part of a collective bargaining agreement. Like, I mean, that's almost seems insane that you could do that, especially to someone like Jim Harbaugh, but maybe I'm wrong in this. I can't recall a single time that this has been a thing, nor would it pass muster. I would assume with any sort of agreement. But
you want what AI says about it?
Yeah.
Yes, the NFL can punish Jim Harbaugh. Sources indicate in the past the NFL would not be a safe harbor for him from potential NCAA discipline, but as of now, the league has not announced any sanctions, and he is not expected to face NFL discipline.
How could they? Under what?
I don't know. That's weird.
I mean,
and by the way,
is that a conduct thing? Like you get caught with a DUI, they can punish. Like,
try that with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, see what happens.
Just try it. Did that guy? If there's one guy that wouldn't take that,
no.
And I mean, he may have to.
Cocked, ready to rock.
I'm just saying, like that would be a complete S show.
Yeah, that's a strange thing. But apparently, Urban Meyer is butthurt.
He's so butthurt.
What an odd thing.
Well, that goes back to the Ohio State Michigan thing.
But can I?
Isn't he sucking up to Ohio State fan there?
I would
a little
assume. But you left 2 programs in disgrace, and you got to go to the NFL. I mean, that's weird. That's so
he
weird.
said this one. He's talking about the sign stealing scandal. He said this will go down in the history books. This is something in my lifetime I have never seen this. The NCAA is no longer an enforcement entity. It just doesn't exist.
What? No longer. They haven't been.
Yeah, well, he's right about that. But I think he's just, I mean, you could even take the Ohio State thing out of it. You could make the case that it is pretty egregious what Michigan got away with.
Yeah.
And yet we don't really talk about it. We don't really seem to care much.
Well, but can I ask, like, Urban Meyer was suspended at Ohio State. Like, the whole Zach Smith thing, Urban Meyer was suspended and kind of left Ohio State in a bit of a disgrace and all that. And
I know. I'm just saying what it is, but I can see where somebody gets to the point where they find it baffling that nothing really has happened to Michigan based on what they did.
Sure,
that's what what he's saying.
Yeah,
and I see that line of thinking.
And I have brought this up. If you look at, I think I liked a tweet that had this. Let me go back and check. And look, I am not a conspiracy theory guy, and I think this may be one of those things that just ends up being kind of a coincidence, you know. But if you look at Jim Harbaugh before the sign stealing stuff, and you look at him after, it is
he's way better.
It is significant.
Well,
now,
I think that's what Urban's saying.
And you could say that, you know, that you can get better and obviously he evolved and grew the program, but it is alarming when you look at pre and post. Before Connor Stallions got there, he was 0-11 as an underdog. He was 1-4 in bowl games. He was 0-5 against Ohio State. He was 11-16 versus top 25 teams. Had never won a division title. Had never won a Big Ten title. And then Stallion showed up and he started beating Ohio State, and you know they went to the college football playoff, and then the next year they won the college football championship. I mean, it is.
Why is this not a bigger thing then? Is it because we just have fatigue over all this?
I think we have fatigue, and there's no real way to. It's like the Belichick Spygate stuff. We know it was an advantage. To what extent, it's impossible to know. And when they did get caught, and they had to stop doing it, they still won. Jim Harbaugh got suspended. They still beat Ohio State. Jim Harbaugh came back in the college football playoff when none of this stuff was going on, and they still beat Alabama. And then they beat the brakes off of Washington, physically beat them up. I mean, so to some extent, like, they proved it. Now, would they have gotten there without this? Does Harbaugh get fired without doing it? Because it's certainly, remember, Jim Harbaugh had to take a pay cut and was on the verge of getting his ass canned, tried to leave because he was going to get fired, stuck around, brought in Connor Stallions, the cheating stuff started, and everything started turning around. So would it have turned around without him? That's a bigger question, but they caught it, they stopped it, and that year they still went undefeated with Harbaugh suspended. So you can say that they cheated, you can say they used to turn the program around, but at the end of the day, they bullied everybody with an old school approach after being caught, and no one could beat them. So I think that's ultimately why you can bitch and moan, but they can still hold up their two fingers and be like, you caught us and you still couldn't beat us.
All right, let's get to the club. We've got several things. Lil Nas X is in some hot water. And did the Cracker Barrel CEO just commit a crime against humanity? Next, here on The Fan.
If you're looking to golf in one of the most unique lands,
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brian Buckley with the Sports Center update. First on the Fan, the Mariners off tonight before opening a 6-game homestand on Friday, but the Houston Astros are in action, and they appear to have today's game well in hand. They're going to take a 2-game lead on the Mariners in the division. Out in Green Bay, fights between the Seahawks and Packers in their joint practice today. The media counting roughly a dozen skirmishes. Packers right tackle Zach Tom was kicked out of practice after throwing punches at multiple Seahawks players. Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald said after the practice that quarterback Jalen Milroe will play the entire game on Saturday from start to finish as Sam Darnold and Drew Lock sit. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, Joe Flacco will start for the Browns on Saturday, will be relieved by Dylan Gabriel, who will then be relieved by Shadur Sanders. Kenny Pickett remains sidelined with his hamstring injury. Round 1 of the PGA Championship is in the books out at Eastlake. Russell Henley, your leader after firing a 9-under 61. Henley has a 2-shot lead on Scotty Scheffler, who's alone in second at 7-under. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of Primetime with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. Warning. The following program may not be suitable for children.
Hold on to your butts.
As the sun sets over Slabtown, in the shadows of the Fremont Bridge, a club comes to life where you can let your freak flag fly.
There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak, full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
The only thing that's off limits are the words you can't say thanks to the FCC.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
We've given away too much to arrive at these political compromises. Yeah.
Google me, bitch.
Oh no, oh no.
Well, my.
Here he is, having the time of his life.
The era has become.
Germany's a great city. I got something's on. He did it. He did a lot of dirt. I do know that. It's insane. Why are you going there? Shane Falco.
Okay, we apologize.
Okay.
It's time for the club, baby. On 105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
Mac and cheese.
Hoo-wee.
Nice to have you along here. Thursday Club. Reading about Lil Nas X.
It's not going well for Lil Nas X.
Well, he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Apparently.
He OD'd.
Why am I laughing?
He OD'd in it. Well, because he OD'd in his whitey tighties and
Because he looked like Frank the Tank going streaking through the quad of the gymnasium.
He did.
Can I also point out, first off, amazing boots, Lil Nas X. And very, like, white underwear is a bold move. He was wearing a little pair of a white, like Speedo briefs.
They almost look like wrestling trunks.
A little bit. He's wearing some white undies, very tight, and he's naked other than that, and he's got some white boots on. Going white undies, it's a bold move, especially when you're high out of your mind. I don't trust white underwear. Too many things can go wrong. And so Lil Nas X, say what you will about him, immaculate white undies. So I'll give him credit for that. But probably not the best look to be high off your ass in whitey tighties and some white cowboy boots.
So he is hospitalized after a bizarre scene in L.A. He was strolling down the middle of a major street early this morning wearing only his underwear and cowboy boots.
And I'll tell you, he wasn't strolling. He was working that catwalk. He was putting on a show.
So, of course, if you don't know Lil Nas X, he's Old Town Road.
Yeah. He's actually, and he's had more than that. Like, he became a big deal, won some Grammys. And,
yeah, he's a talented guy.
Yeah.
He was floating aimlessly down Ventura Boulevard at 4 a.m. Someone driving past him recorded him. Yeah. Repeatedly pointed at the camera and muttered something about heading to a party. And at one point, he placed an orange traffic cone on his head.
Yeah. Well, if there's one thing I know is that when you're high out of your mind, picking up an orange parking cone and putting it on your head does indicate that you are ready to party. I mean, at any point you put a parking cone on your head, that is a sure sign that you are looking to have a good time.
Officers responded. Well, apparently a bunch of people saw him, and they were like, "Yeah,
that's a problem.
It's L.A., so wild things occur, but this looks a little out of the ordinary." So they called the cops. Officers respond. They found him still walking down the middle of the road, and he charged at officers.
Yeah.
So they had to subdue him and put him in handcuffs. And officers told paramedics that it was possible that he overdosed.
Yeah.
And he was transported to a hospital. He said he couldn't feel his face.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug, or whatever the hell you were doing. Yeah, when you can't feel your face, I mean, who hasn't been there naked with a parking cone on your head, not being able to feel your face?
Yeah, what'd you say yesterday? Take a bump like an adult.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like someone asked me how you get up in the morning. Take a bump. Be a man.
Not
be an
that
adult.
stupid coffee machine.
Yeah, little Nas X. He's in some trouble, and we hope that he gets some help, because I'm sure his people are going to say that he was exhausted. And that it was
accidentally mixed medications.
Yeah, mix some medications, and that he's doing much better now, and everything's fine, as opposed to, dude, I just did a lot of drugs.
Or he gets the rehab bump. They also do that, where then they get all the re-swell of support.
Right. I do have to say that if you told me, like, as we were wrapping last night's show, you said, "Okay, Rob, tomorrow you're going to be talking about an entertainer, celebrity, who literally franked the tanks in LA."
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Lil Nas X would be on my list.
Yeah, he's... Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he's just kind of at that stage where he's sitting on a pile of money.
Yeah.
He's just partying, having a great time. Not a care in the world.
Hopefully he doesn't die.
I think he'll be fine.
Well, dude, when you're naked with a parking cone on your head and you can't feel your face, dude, you're one step away from, like, I'm not saying, like, not the celebrity. You don't want
Look,
anyone.
it's rough, but maybe
it's a rough go.
maybe he was having a good. It's just maybe that's a good night for him.
Well, it might have
seemed
been
rather jovial.
It might have been a good night right up until the arrest.
Yeah, and I think they're going to charge him. They said resisting or maybe like, when did they charge him?
He did run at the cops. Like,
yeah,
he's lucky he didn't get shot, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Like, if you're naked and you charge a cop, that's that's not a recipe for success. Although you're naked, so you can't really have a weapon. So maybe you just get tased, or
that was his saving grace.
Yeah. What was the old Chris Rock? Remember Chris Rock did that PSA on how to not get your ass kicked by the cops? Do you remember that?
No.
It's one of, and I mean, now it might be viewed as controversial, but he did a thing. He used to have the Chris Rock show, and it's like 5 or 6 minutes long. Do yourself a favor and look it up. He does a PSA on how not to get your ass whooped by the cops, and it's pretty good. It just makes me think of that. I'm guessing because he goes through, this is what not to do, and I'm guessing naked cowboy boot running at a cop is one of those do not do if you don't want to get your ass whooped by the cops.
This texture brings up something that I hadn't even occurred to me. Guys like that buy new undies for every day. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's because they don't want to wash.
It's a good point.
And those do look brand new out of the bag.
They're so white.
Yeah.
Like, I will not buy a pair of white underwear. And you know me, I love my whites. If you're buying white underwear, like, what do you do? What are you doing?
I could have more white things.
Like, that's such a bold move. You're just breaking out some white. They show everything. You may be way more confident in your abilities than I am.
White is a hard color, and it's not just undies. It's like shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's just, they look so good at first.
And then they just inevitably
and then
turn.
it's just,
yeah.
You can't keep them that white.
No. Underwear needs to be black and gray. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're a single guy out there and you want a vibrant color or something, some fun undies. Oh, got the fun undies on. But yeah, you got to stick it. At our age, man, you got to go with the blacks and grays. Hide stuff a little better. It's a simpler world than just going with the whites. But I didn't think about that. Yeah, little Nas X probably
he
just
can afford
has.
it.
He can afford the new one. And someone said he probably has Lyme disease, which again,
yeah, there you go.
blame
it on Lyme.
Blame it on the Lyme disease. Nothing I could do.
All right, let's get to the big Cracker Barrel story. Crimes against humanity.
Who would have thought Cracker Barrel, the latest to engage in, what are the culture wars?
Yep. They're right in the middle of it. Yeah. And also a story out of Italy, rad or bad, next on The Fan.
He's back. Damian Lillard is returning to Rip City.
Batum throws to Lillard. A three for the game.
Our culture wars are getting dumber and dumber by the day.
Bigly.
Yeah. Although, that being said, like, whoever was at Cracker Barrel that didn't realize this was coming, that's on you.
Wait, what?
Culture wars are becoming dumber and dumber. And
Yeah.
they're just, but
Whoever was
whoever was in charge at Cracker Barrel that decided that this is what they were going to do, it's the same thing with the Bud Light thing, right? Like, that was so stupid that Bud Light took flack for that. However, whatever dumbass that was in charge of Bud Light that thought that that wasn't going to be a thing, it shouldn't be. None of these things should be. But if your objective is to not hurt your company, you are doing a piss poor job. Bud Light and now Cracker Barrel realize that every stupid thing that some lunatic on the far side of either, side is going to freak out and it's going to become a thing. Why do this? Why do this to yourself?
The casual dining restaurant Cracker Barrel, known for its southern charm, is making changes to its image, including dropping the man in jean overalls who is resting his arm on a barrel from the logo.
So they lost the cracker and the barrel.
Yes.
Since 1977, the drawing of the man and barrel has been a part of the restaurant's logo. However, the decision to drop it comes as the restaurant chain is seeking to stay relevant among a new generation of diners. The way we communicate the things on the menu, the way the stores look and feel, all of these things came up time and time again in our research as opportunities for us to regain relevancy, says CEO Julie Fels-Massino. The restaurant opened in 1969. They said in a press release that its new logo design is rooted even more closely to the iconic barrel shape and word mark that started it all. So basically, they just took the guy and the barrel out of.
That's it.
It just says Cracker.
It just says Cracker Barrel, and that's fine, and it should be. That's like the most innocent thing you can do. But lunatics on the far right are going to be like, "What the hell? We can't have a white guy on there anymore. Is that what this is about? Like we can't have a woke thing, so we just the white guy is no longer okay." And now you're going to get a bunch of these fringe dip-esses that are going to freak out and boycott Cracker Barrel. Why? And you knew it. If someone would have brought me into that meeting, I'm going to charge $9 for companies to be like, "Hey, this is what we're thinking about doing. Is a good idea." I'm going to be like, "No, don't do it."
Your core base is going to hate this, so don't.
Yes.
You could have seen this coming a mile away.
And by the way, the core base is old white people.
Yes, which is why you didn't need to do this. It's not that you shouldn't have updated your logo, but in today's climate, it's not surprising the blowback came.
Yeah, it's just it would have taken me 2 seconds to be like, it's not going to be worth the backlash, and maybe it blows over, maybe it doesn't, but don't do this. It's if you want to update the old guy to, like, I don't know, have him doing something different, but I promise you, if you take the old white guy off of there, out of the overalls and the barrel, it's going to become and somehow reverse racism, and you're just going to create a backlash.
What if they had the old white guy drinking a Bud Light?
Be better than this.
By the way,
it's so dumb that we have to. That this has to be a thing. That we have to watch.
Well, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to fall for it. I have been doing this show with you for the better part of 18 years.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I have never once had a hot take from my kid.
Yeah.
Until right now.
Really?
He just texted me.
Meat's in on the Cracker Barrel?
Meat is in on Cracker Barrel.
All right.
And he said, "I don't think taking away the dude from the logo will get me to eat at a Cracker Barrel." LOL.
And I'm
like, you know what? That's good.
Yes, and that's my point. I would like to
show worthy good. Thanks, Meat.
I would like to sit
It's
in
about
there.
time you contributed to the show.
Love you.
It only took him 18 years.
I would love to sit in there with Julie and be like, Jules, babe, talk to me here. Let me show you this market research. How old's Meat now? 20?
Oh, God. 99. So 26.
All right.
Wait, 25.
Let me
He's
show you
turning
this.
26.
Let me market this market research from
Wait, 24 turning 25.
Great. You're doing great.
He was born in 99.
Okay.
This
would be
September
2025.
Yeah. So he's 25. Yeah, about to turn 26.
There you go.
Yeah. I think.
That would be 26. Yes.
Yeah, see, now you're second guessing.
No, if he was born in 99.
Yeah, but his birthday isn't till September.
Yeah.
So we're not in September, are we?
No, we are not.
Okay, so he's about to turn 26.
Jules, baby, Baby cakes. You're not getting 25 or 26 or 27-year-olds to come eat because you're removing the old white guy or the barrel, okay? It's not working. None of those kids are going to be like, oh, this is relevant. And all you're going to do is piss off the vast majority of your customers. Stop it. I understand you're trying to relate to a new group. That ain't working with this. It's just, it's so silly. I'd say the same thing to the Bud Light people. Yes, I get it. You want to support everybody. I think that's wonderful. Who drinks your beer? They're really, really going to hate when you get an annoying. And that's the other problem. It wasn't just like it was whatever, you get a trans influencer. It was like one of the most annoying people on the internet. I'm like, your fan base in the Deep South is going to love this. Who is in charge of these places? I guarantee this woman, by the way, makes millions of dollars a year to make ridiculous
There are
decisions.
always people who are out of touch who believe that they're there to help usher that corporation into like the modern era. And a lot of those corporations aren't ready for that. And the people who go to their businesses aren't ready for that.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Do you think she eats at Cracker Barrel?
I would like to believe she does.
No way.
Do you think she has?
Yeah, well, she would. Yeah, she had probably has done a photo op or something, but
yeah, I've been to
She probably pretended to eat a chicken fried steak or something.
Yeah, I went to a Cracker Barrel. I was in Florida like maybe 5 years ago. I think that's the last time I went to a Cracker Barrel. Do we have Cracker Barrels?
No, I think they're gone because they sucked.
Yeah.
So that's the real problem here.
I just know when I go into a Cracker Barrel, I like to know that there's some sort of cotton gin hanging above my head that could fall in claps and kill me.
Somebody
at any
said
moment.
they're about to, or they started serving booze.
Oh, the Cracker Barrel doesn't serve booze?
No, it never did.
Yeah, too wholesome.
Anyway, the logo's redesign has been subjected to backlash, particularly from conservative commentators who accuse the restaurant chain of being woke. President Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., tweeted, "WTF is wrong with Cracker Barrel."
Can I ask the conservative folks, what isn't woke anymore? What do you want? What do you want from people? Like, what? I don't. Is anything, at any time someone changes or tries to modernize something, unless we're going backwards to like the 1950s, is everything woke?
Also, isn't woke an indication of being overly sensitive? And how are you not woke for being all butthurt about this?
I'll just tell
another
you,
great point.
If you, thank you. If you wake up and the old man Cracker Barrel logo is bothering you, you got bigger problems. Like it just blows my mind that this is where we're at.
Well, this lady, Messino,
Jules,
she stepped in it.
Yeah.
Some are calling it a crime against humanity. Something tells me she'll be okay, but I don't know. If you're redesigning the Cracker Barrel logo, what are you doing?
Well, and then the people they kind of did the opposite of the whole GameStop thing, and they got all angry, and people started intentionally selling the Cracker Barrel stock, and it dropped like 15%.
Yeah, I saw that.
All because of...
Yeah.
I know.
All because they updated their logo.
Yeah, but you got rid of the old white guy.
Yeah, it was symbolic of trashing the white man.
DEI, am I right?
That's right.
But they didn't replace it with any. Yeah, I think there was another conservative pundit that was like, first it was like Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, and now the Cracker Barrel guy. And
What
I'm
if
like,
they put a second barrel with a black guy on the other side?
There you go.
That would be woke too. Everything's woke.
They wouldn't like that.
I don't know
it's
what
too equal.
woke is anymore. I don't. I'm just.
This. Can I read
I'm
this?
confused.
I'm going to read this.
Yeah.
Text says, Cracker Barrel, it says, ever been to a Cracker Barrel gift area?
Yeah. That's what they say. Where you can buy the cotton gin and then like some. Yeah, whatever.
He says it looks like they should have a live slave auction there. Probably why the conservatives like it. Uncomfortable, but kind of true.
Just. Yeah, someone said Cracker Barrel, just get better food and maybe that'll solve the problem.
Exactly. There you go.
Aren't places like that, like the Denny's and the IHOPs, aren't all these places struggling now?
Oh, I think so.
Yes, they are.
They're just,
Hey, lean into the, you know what you do? You just turn it hippie. Lean into the vegans.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys seen the Bed Bath & Beyond stuff that's been becoming a culture war? They've said that they will never go back to California because of policies and stuff like that. And people are like, you guys are declaring bankruptcy across America 2 years ago. What do you mean? Like, what?
You're not coming back to California?
Are they a conservative
I think they were just somehow they basically took a shot and said, or someone took a shot and said that Bed Bath & Beyond won't go back to California now because of the way things are and politics and blah, blah, blah. And people are pointing out they were fledgling and gone under anyways. Like, that has nothing to do with this.
Well, I mean, one of the ways you can reinvent yourself, from Dean Cain to Kid Rock or whatever, is to just, again, lean into the culture where there is business to be had there where, you can be the most irrelevant human being on the planet, but if you lean hard into that, there is money to be made. So maybe that's what Cracker Barrel needs to do, is just become Trump Barrel. Like, just lean into the conservative thing. Put a white guy back on there and, like, I don't know, you can put him in an American flag hat and wrap instead of a Cracker Barrel, make it America Barrel. And
yeah, I say they go the other way and get known for your tofu stir fries and your kale salads.
Nice little egg white omelet.
We can't even we can't even agree on just crappy restaurants anymore. It's so exhausting.
No, I think we all agree on Cracker Barrel. It sucks.
It sucks.
No, we don't agree on the logo.
The logo.
All right.
Who had waking up and being outraged over the Cracker Barrel logo on their list?
Okay, coming up next, we've got a story from Italy. And usually the Americans abroad make us look bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if you think this makes us look good.
Hey, we need some of those.
But you might not. So that's next. But first, Buck with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update, brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan. Out in Green Bay today, fights between the Seahawks and Packers in their joint practices, the media counting roughly a dozen of those skirmishes. One player kicked out of practice, right tackle Zach Tom of the Packers, was sent home early after throwing punches at a pair of Seahawks players. After practice, Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald said that quarterback Jalen Milroe will play the entire game on Saturday against the Packers as Sam Darnold and Drew Lock both sit. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, head coach Kevin Stefanski said the starters will play in the Browns' preseason finale against the Rams on Saturday. Joe Flacco will start. Dylan Gabriel will come off the bench, and Shadur Sanders will come in relief for Gabriel. Kenny Pickett remains sidelined with his hamstring injury. Round 1 of the PGA Championship is in the books out at East Lake. Russell Henley, your leader after firing a 9 under 61. Henley has a 2-shot lead on Scotty Scheffler, who is alone in second at 7 under par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley to George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
grabbed her by her ponytail.
Yeah.
And basically held her for an hour.
Yeah, until
the cops showed
up. The cops showed up.
And there's video of it, and the little Italian girl is screaming and yelling and pissed off, and the whole thing. But she got pickpocketed.
Yeah.
So does this make Americans look bad?
Oh,
good?
I don't care that it makes whether this makes us look bad or not.
We're okay with it. This is like
I'm totally okay.
This
with
is rad.
Yes, but I mean rad. I just fat, uneducated beer. When I was in Italy, we had our Airbnb broken into, and that was in I think Florence that we got broken into, and it was weird the stuff they took, but I have like. If you steal like my sandals or like my hat, I got a Portland police hat that was stolen from me. And so like we were joking, and my sandals were my flip-flops that they took were very they're easy to spot. Like they weren't like regular Adidas sandals. And we were joking as we were walking around, because we were still there for like 2 more days in Florence, and we were joking around, what if we see someone wearing my big ass, Robert Graham flip flops and my Portland police hat? I'm like, it's not like if I saw those things, I'd be like, hey, I wonder if. No, those are mine.
Grab them by the ponytail.
Right? Like, I have no problem with that. Like, that's all that is saying, dude, you are not. If someone stole, and my buddy got his passport wallet stolen, and it was a really nice one. If I saw someone that had taken that, I'd absolutely grab that son of a bitch and toss him to the ground. And by the way, this is a lady on lady crime. It'd be one thing like if I'm grabbing some lady, like because she looks like a teenager. It'd be one thing if you got me grabbing some gal, but this is lady on lady crime. I have no problem, dude. Stick up for yourself. You do not have to be a victim. I think this is awesome. And you get your wallet back. And by the way, stealing a hat is one thing. Dude, stealing someone's wallet with all your credit cards when you're overseas, dude, F that. I'm glad this dumbass got caught. I'm glad she got her ponytail yanked, and hopefully they do something to her.
There's a lot of... I agree, by the way. There's a lot of stupid stuff over there. I don't remember where we were, what part of Italy. On the coast, I think. Maybe Amalfi Coast.
Stupid bitch.
And they had they set up, like, we went to this Airbnb, and they had this, like, little miniature figurine donkey set up.
Yeah.
And that's where they hid the key, right?
Sure.
So the key's under the donkey.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Well,
Key's always under the donkey.
The key, yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I think that's a common. Anyway, thought nothing of it, got the key, checked out a couple days later, put the key under the donkey, and then, of course, she sends a picture that shows the donkey broken.
Oh, yeah, and that you broke the donkey.
Yeah, we did not break the donkey, and I know we didn't break the donkey.
Yeah.
But all she was trying to do was shake us down. Yeah. She's like, you broke the donkey.
I want some money.
And she wanted like $500.
It's an expensive donkey.
I know. She was claiming that it's a family heirloom, and like this is really important to us.
Did Van Gogh sculpt that donkey?
Well, we told Airbnb about it. We're like, yeah, we're not paying this bitch.
Yeah.
And nothing nothing ever came of it. But just little stuff like that's infuriating. So I agree that you get pickpocketed, all bets are off.
Dude, I don't care where I'm at.
I told you dumb bitch.
If someone picks my pocket or steals something from me and I see it, there will be a response.
I think I think we need to talk here about how the girl's a bad pickpocket.
Yeah.
Because usually the pickpocket,
you
don't notice them.
Yeah, that's amateur hour.
Right.
And, hey.
Have you ever been pickpocketed?
Not that I'm aware.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, me neither.
Not that I can recall. I mean, I suppose I'm trying to think if I've ever really lost my wallet in this way. Because, I mean, I guess you could say, hey, did I lose my wallet somewhere and someone pickpocketed you? But I think anytime I've done that, it's literally I know that I've left it somewhere, like in a gym bag or something like that. So I do not think I have been. But it's an awful feeling to feel violated like that, especially when you're traveling. Your ID's in there, all your credit cards. I mean, that's a big deal. And I don't know. We take. I'm not all welled up with national pride. I'm like the last guy when I travel. It's like America,
yeah.
But there is an idea of anybody that's in your country, and I'd feel this way if a foreign person came to our country. I would want to make sure they had the best experience possible. And the idea of someone picking on you because you're foreign pisses me off. And that if I were to see that, if I saw this situation go down and I saw someone pick someone's pocket, I think I would reach out and grab someone.
So it's an Italian woman.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah.
In Portland.
Yeah.
You watch her get pickpocketed. You take down pickpocketer.
100%. I'm putting my knee in that person's, but now I'm not holding the ponytail, but the knee's going in the back and we're going with a rear naked chokehold or maybe a nice Kimura. Someone's going down and we're going to stay there until the cops show up. Absolutely. We got to get more, like, no one wants to get involved anymore. I know, because, I mean, bad stuff can happen, but I don't know, there's too many people that take advantage and be like, it's like, oh, what's going to happen to me? Well, hopefully you start taking an ass whooping.
I think the pickpocket is actually a pretty, I don't want to say cool, but it's a pretty amazing crime if you think about it.
Like a skill that you're able to do.
Yeah, skill. That's probably the better word.
Yeah, there are elements of it that are impressive when done well and done, frequently.
Yeah, you gotta be. I mean,
sleight of hand and all that.
I don't know if you have this, but if I am in a crowd, certainly if I'm traveling, I am very aware that when someone, and maybe this is, I've seen too many movies, but when someone bumps into me, the first thing I do is I check.
Yep.
No matter where I'm at, home, away, but certainly when I'm traveling abroad or if I'm at a concert, a sporting event, and someone deliberately bumps into me, because that's, in my understanding, that's how they do it. They bump into you, and then while they bump into you, that's when they take your crap. And I always carry my wallet in the front, and the same thing with my phone. So if you bump into me, the first thing I do is I tap my pockets. And I'm hoping one day it's not awkward, but if I were to tap my pocket and my wallet's not there, I'm turning to the person that bumped into me and we're having a conversation. I mean, I wouldn't just assume that, oh, did I drop it somewhere? I'm like, no, you bumped into me. I feel that we're going to have that conversation. I think that's just something that I've always done where I'm paranoid about that.
All right.
Someone said she thinks she tracked her with an Apple AirTag.
Oh, is that right?
It could be.
Oh.
That's how we think when we got our the Airbnb broken into. They didn't take a lot of the nicer things. My buddy had a really nice laptop, and we think that's maybe why they didn't take it. He had an Apple MacBook, whatever, and someone else had a nice iPad, and because that stuff can be tracked, right? With Find My whatever, because they did not take that stuff. They didn't take the most expensive things in the apartment.
All right, coming up next, when you're stuck on the tarmac, no problem. Let me pull out my jazz band.
Wants to hear Isaac Robb play some jazz flute.
On the Fan.
Dirt and Sprague. Dirt and Sprague.
I'm Dirt. I was kind of thinking. Oregon State is Cal, Fresno State. Then they go to the tortilla throwing factory at Texas Tech. Now, but then they're at Oregon. And
bandmates got up, got out their instruments, and started jamming in the aisle. While the plane was stuck on the tarmac.
Well, I mean, this is a tough one for me because this is like when that dude stood up and did the religious sing-along.
Exactly.
But you got to make sure that everyone's on board. Like,
I don't know how you possibly can make sure that everyone's on board.
I don't really like the presumptuous nature of standing up and deciding that you're going to break out into some jazz.
Couple of details here
Yeah.
that you need to know. And let me preface this by saying that I'm with you. This would drive me crazy. That's loud.
Yeah.
An entire jazz band?
Now, I like jazz, but not everyone does.
I like jazz too, but...
in a plane cabin?
Yeah.
In a fuselage? No, thank you.
No thanks. That said, if you're going to pull that off, this happened about as well as it went about as well as it could go.
Okay.
And for several reasons. One, the flight attendant knew who he was and saw them all get on the plane with their instruments.
Okay.
She knew they had the instruments handy.
Yeah.
And she also asked them to play. He said, I don't really know if everyone's going to want that.
So he had some self-awareness.
Yeah, he was like,
it.
dude, I don't know about this. But they did it anyway. And he said they only played one song. They played Stevie Wonder's You Haven't Done Nothing. And that was it.
Good tune, by the way.
And he said that it was a great moment. You can see the video of it. Passengers love it.
Yeah.
There's really no I mean, I'm looking through the crowd. I don't see any that aren't enjoying it.
Sure.
And he said...
Oh, yeah, I see it here.
He said he was nervous that some passengers might not like it, but after playing one song, they knew that was enough. It felt right to just do one and sit down. And he said it was a moment that he'll remember for the rest of his life. And it was a feel-good moment. It brought everyone together.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
They're loving it.
Barstool put out, I think, Nightmare. Jazz band decides a plane stuck on the tarmac was the perfect place to show off their skills, which...
They didn't decide to play. They were asked...
That's a disingenuous headline.
They were asked to play.
So that's a big distinction.
They did, and they played one song.
I
would have been okay with.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact. And by the way, I think you make the announcement. You're like, ladies and gentlemen, we've been asked... One song only, and this will not be a Fish jam band 18-minute number. We'll play one tune, little Stevie Wonder, everyone have their merry way, and then we sit back down. And they're like, no, play more. Like, nope, sit down,
and
be
that's
done.
It. Put in your headsets.
Put on the headset.
And leave us alone.
Yeah, there's one guy that looks like he's kind of annoyed, but you can put up with it for 4 or 5 minutes and then go about your way.
Now, do you get over the PA and say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome jazz saxophonist Dave Codd.
The musical stylings, and then you go about your merry way. Yeah, that's fine. You got to be real careful in that situation when you decide to entertain people that didn't choose to be entertained. Like, what if I stood up and I'm like, hey, I want to tell jokes, or hey, I've got a yo-yo here. Like, that's not your call. You don't get to decide in a confined space that you are going to entertain people.
Well, live music.
I've got a yo-yo here.
Yeah.
Live music is a weird one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's probably a lot of places where you just wouldn't.
Yeah.
We love live music, but there's a lot of places where you just wouldn't want it.
Well, it's strange, too, that if I am walking and I hear live music, I will stop. I like street musicians. I have a friend of mine. It's a big rub of mine. He hates. His thing is, if you were any good, you wouldn't be playing here. And I just, that pisses me off. We'll be somewhere and I'm like, hey, let's stop and listen to this. And he's like, no, I'm not listening to this. He just assumes that all music.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, he thinks, and I'm like, dude, there are some incredible musicians. And he goes, if they were incredible, they wouldn't be playing in this crappy place.
Also not true.
Yeah. Like I'll be like, hey, let's hit a bar, and he'll be like, where do you want to go? Or I'll ask him where he wants to go, and he'll be like, any place without music. I'm like, oh my God,
what?
You old? He thinks that anyone playing at like a local bar is a crappy musician. We fundamentally disagree, because I love live music.
That's just a bad take.
Yes, it is.
I mean, no.
There are bad...
Yeah,
yes.
To his point, he's probably going to get some bad stuff.
But sometimes at a bar, it can be fun. Like, the band doesn't have to be any good if they're good entertainers and you get a lively crowd. I just like live music.
But it's like going to a minor league baseball game. Like, it's not the major leagues.
Yes.
So...
embrace it.
Yeah.
And he won't. So I get that, like, even someone like me that loves live music, and I will listen to live music at almost every turn. For every one of me, there's also one of him. And that's why I said you can't be presumptuous to assume that people want to listen to you play. Because while I would not be offended with anyone playing, I'd be like, oh, I'll listen to this. You can't be presumptuous when it comes to that. Because it would suck to be in a confined space, subway, bus, airplane, or whatever, and have someone start playing and you being like, God, this is not what I want to hear right now. That stinks.
What if you were at the bank, standing in line?
Yeah, I'd be all right.
Some lady starts belting a tune. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah,
because the banks are boring.
I think music makes any situation better, but I know I'm not the only one. Well, not everyone feels like me. And I do think in public spaces we should be conscious that we're all on this journey together, and
yeah,
what's good for you may not be good for everyone, and some self-awareness. And it sounds like this Dave Cause had self-awareness.
Yeah, he knew that.
Yeah.
It's true. This is why on airplanes it's like we don't really want much of anything. Like leave us.
Yeah.
Let's just.
Yeah. We're all in our own little world.
Yeah. Just leave it that way.
Yeah.
It's best that way.
Yes. Because it's hard to get a group of people to agree to anything, let alone what kind of music you want to listen to.
All right, coming up next, it's Recruiting with Andrew Nemec. Our show back tomorrow, 3 to 7 on The Fan. Good night.